has exceeded the Fed's 2% inflation target. Measured from a year ago, prices rose 2.7% in the month of March. Another day in court for former President Trump in New York City, and while it's preventing him from being on the campaign trail, at least he gets to go behind the mic outside the courtroom.
This is a trial that should have never happened. This is a case that should have never been filed. And it was really an incredible day. Open your eyes, and we can't let this continue to happen to our country. But other than that, the economy has just been reported to be doing very badly. The stock market's way down.
The former president pleading not guilty to falsifying business records. The U.S. Secretary of State on a 3-day visit to Communist China.
Antony Blinken's discussions started with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and then Beijing's Public Security Minister, who said Blinken would see President Xi Jinping, a meeting that had been expected but not previously announced. A State Department official then confirmed that Blinken would meet the president before leaving the country late on Friday. Talks between the two countries have increased in recent months, even as differences have grown. Blinken and Wang underscored the importance of keeping lines of communication open, but they also lamented that divisions were becoming more serious in nature. I'm Charles Silvertesma.
And Blinken has now met with Chinese President Xi. Blinken says there will be more cooperation on fighting synthetic drugs. They also discussed China's report of Russia in the war in Ukraine. Watching Wall Street, Dow futures up 42 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
In fact, the pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at ReliefFactor.com, and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com. Be the next success story.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Signal callers dominate the first 12 picks of the NFL Draft.
For the first time in NFL draft history, 5 quarterbacks are selected in the top 10, while 6 go in the top 12. USC's Caleb Williams went first to the Chicago Bears.
Unique moment, unique time for me, because I've been striving and reaching for this moment to be the number 1 pick, and so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be on this team.
The Commanders selected Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Jaden Daniels with the 2nd pick. North Carolina's Drake May went 3rd to the Patriots. The Falcons stunned everyone, taking Michael Penix Jr. at number 8, 1 month after signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal. Vikings traded it up to 10 to select Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy, while Bo Nix went to Denver at number 12. Denny Cow, Detroit.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says he thinks the league will dramatically increase its number of international games in the next decade. The NFL will host 5 games abroad this season. News and analysis at townhall.com. As the second of 2 Colorado paramedics convicted in the 2019 death of Elijah McClain is sentenced, the study finds the practice of giving sedatives to those detained by police has been spreading.
An AP investigation in collaboration with Frontline and the Howard Centers for Investigative Journalism shows how a strategy intended to reduce violence and save lives has also resulted in 94 avoidable deaths over a decade. Paramedic and EMS educator Eric Yeager says after teaching the concept for years, he started taking a closer look.
I and others came to the conclusion that we probably made a mistake.
I'm Ben Tom.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration investigating whether last year's recall of Tesla's autopilot driving system did enough to make sure drivers pay attention to the road. The agency says Tesla has reported more crashes involving autopilot since the recall. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to it.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, we made it to Friday. Happy Friday. Of course, kind of a crazy last 24 hours here in the city of Roswell. Of course, we had the major fire down by the airport there. That has caused some issues. We do have 3 of our schools here in the Roswell Independent School District that are on 2-hour delays this morning due to that fire down by the base. University High School, Mountain View Middle School, and Sunset Elementary will be on 2-hour delays this morning. Classes at these 3 schools will begin at 10 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
If you are not in those 3 schools, they're all on time. So unless you go to those 3 schools, it's a normal school day for you. But for
everybody
those 3
else,
schools, 10 a.m.
Sorry. I mean, not really, though, because that was horrific last night.
Yeah,
they said it was kicking up deadly gases.
And they were evacuating some people in that area. And fortunately, we'll have Sheriff Mike Harrington join us here in the 8 o'clock hour. He can give us the latest on that, on the fire and everything there, and what updates we have, if any, there for that. So.
My major concern when I saw the fire was, first of all, the location.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't know for sure if it was the air sale building, but it was in that area.
Sure.
And that's literally right across from Job Corps.
Sure. There's a lot of people.
It was right in that zone.
I don't know when everything started. I'm hoping and praying that it was after hours, so to speak, and the buildings were pretty empty. But I haven't heard one way or another. So I haven't heard anything about injuries. I'm going to go on a limb and say, because no one's reported that kind of thing yet, I think we're good. Usually that kind of stuff comes out early if there's casualties or things like that. But I don't know. And
I'm going to say a big part of the problem was that massive wind we had yesterday. Just
I'm speculating, and everyone else is at this point. But yeah, if you want to, kind of put the clues together, that definitely leads you to think one way or another. Weather may have had a factor, but then again, it could have been just coincidental. Who knows?
Sidney Gutierrez is on a 2-hour delay also.
Okay.
According to the chat.
Okay. I'm just
haven't gotten independent confirmation on that, but that's according to
this is an email that my wife got directly through the school district that had those 3 schools.
Sure. And actually, I got the call this morning too, but I was wondering about Sidney Gutierrez because I didn't hear that on the list.
Okay. So I haven't seen that on my list either, but and usually they send me a thing. I didn't get one of those this morning. So
yeah. But you mentioned out on a limb a second ago, and I kind of smiled. I had an incident yesterday as I was leaving this office that was rather interesting.
Had something to do with a limb?
It did. I go outside.
Not your limbs, right?
Not my limbs. I walk out to my car, and I noticed that the lovely young lady who works at Behringer's Blossom Shop, who drives the Love Bug, and a gentleman from the energy company next door were both outside looking up.
Uh-oh.
So I opened my car door, and while I watched them look up, I kind of closed my door, and no big deal. And then I hear, so I'm like, okay. I open the door, and I look up with them to discover a kitten stuck in the tree.
Oh, no.
And that kitten's mom was on the roof of said building. So I'm guessing the cats got scared because of the wind, scurried up the tree, freaked out. And so the next 20 to 25 minutes was, okay, now what do we do here? I called, so this is this is the entertaining part. I've been taught my whole life through cartoons, through news stories, when a cat gets stuck in a tree, who do you call?
Fire department.
Fire department,
Yeah.
right. I called the fire department. They said, nope, there's nothing they can do. I have to call animal control. So I called animal control, didn't get an answer. And I thought, hold on, I am me. Let me call Crystal. So I called Crystal.
All things animal. Call
Crystal. Of course. Does it have 4 legs? Furry? Call Crystal. So I called Crystal. She gets a hold of the animal control people. Here's the protocol for anybody who ever encounters a situation. You have to call animal control or get a hold of animal control. Only they have the ability to contact the fire department and get them involved.
So did they call the fire
So
department?
they, in a collaborative effort, I had to leave after that, so I didn't stick around. But I didn't
So
hear any
cats.
meowing this morning.
Yeah,
so
I didn't see anything.
I'm
When I
thinking.
got there, this thing all was quiet. So,
But my brain does these weird things in my sleep, in my when I actually remember my dreams, and it takes situations from like the day that I had and tweaks them in some weird way. So in this my weird sleep-addled dream that I had last night, Mama cat rejected baby cat because we touched the cat, and so somebody had to take the cat home, and that somebody had to be me.
Gotcha.
So that was what I woke up to this morning. Like, what happened to that cat? Okay, it's just Stefan. We're good.
Well, hopefully it was a happy ending
It
for
was.
all.
I'm assuming everything worked out for the best.
That's right. Cats were reunited.
Mhm.
Fire department.
Cats in the cradle, silver spoon, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, if TV's taught us nothing, when the cats get stuck in the tree, you call the fire
You call the fire, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's not. Apparently, you call animal control, and they contact the fire department.
See, TV has led us astray.
That's right. I even told the lady.
You know what? I bet they don't solve cases in an hour on the lawyer show.
You know what? You're probably right. I even told the dispatcher for the fire department. I'm like, so cartoons have been lying to me my whole life, and she just laughed and said, "Yeah."
Right. I thought you guys had a cat rescuing division.
Right, I thought there was a whole thing. I know how firemen work. You guys just sit around in up the stairs, wearing wife beaters and those striped boxers,
Working out.
and then when the alarm goes off, you slide down the pole and go rescue cats. That's how I thought that was how it worked. And then shoot calendars in your spare time.
That's right. They're calendar shooters.
Yeah, wash trucks and shoot and do photo shoots.
I thought
for
there was always
calendars.
somebody making chili too.
Oh yeah, always chili or like Mama's spaghetti.
Yeah. Yep, we nailed it.
Yep,
we're
there it is.
professional firefighters now.
I could have been one.
But well, good, but happy in there. But of course, obviously, as we'll have the sheriff in the 8 o'clock, and we'll get updates on the fire and all that good stuff.
According to Antonio on the chat, he said, I recently found out if you have a busted pipe or a water situation, you contact the Roswell Police Department. They contact the water department to have them come out.
Okay.
So
got a little middleman situation.
I'm telling you, a lot of protocol that people just don't know about until you encounter these situations.
Well, I know this. If you got a trash problem, call the water department trash.
Right.
They handle it directly.
If you do have a trash situation, what you're supposed to do is contact Game and Fish. Then they get in touch with Parks and Recreation, and Parks and Recreation will then in turn get in touch with sanitation.
I thought you called the zoo.
I don't know who to call, man. I just kept pushing numbers until somebody answered and helps me.
That's right. So, well, on other fronts, is our guest here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Night one of the NFL draft was last night.
Which that made me so happy.
The Jaguars
that
thing?
you sent me a picture of Tony Khan kayfabe wearing his neck brace.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So, real quick before I get to my thing, for those folks that don't know, the man that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, his son is the owner of the WCW.
No.
Isn't that AEW?
Yeah,
Sorry,
AEW.
one of the wrestling ones.
So they did a whole thing on Dynamite on Wednesday. They basically kayfabe injured the owner.
Yeah.
And I was curious, and he was wearing a neck brace in subsequent filming, like
Yes.
recordings. So everybody was speculating whether his dad, Shad Khan, who owns the Jaguars, was, while he shows up next to him, because he's a part owner, whether he was going to be wearing his kayfabe neck brace. And sure enough, there he was in his neck brace. You love to see it.
Do you wonder if Dad's like happy or like?
That's the kicker.
Why are you bringing this over?
Dad ran in. That was the last shot of the episode before they faded to
really?
black. Was Shad Khan ran into the ring all concerned,
to check on his
looking
son.
at his son. Yeah,
So Dad's in on it. Too.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. He's fine. It's all fun.
But the part that I cared about,
Yes.
my Washington Commanders have a quarterback. Allegedly. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, they got one. We'll see if he's the guy. But
Right.
they selected LSU's Jaden Daniels, which was not a big secret. A lot of people were kind of calling that shot. There was a few Drake May people saying he was going to go there. He ended up going to the Patriots, I believe. Yeah, the Patriots.
They need all the help they can get right now.
Well, and this is where you hear nothing for the last month. All the quote-unquote experts and analysts and all those folks. Like a lot of them saying, because it was really a 4-quarterback race there that they were talking about, Caleb Williams, who went to the Bears, number 1 overall, that was pretty much decided a month or two ago. And then Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan, and then Drake May out of North Carolina. All at any given time, except for Caleb Williams, because they were pretty much he's going to the Bears.
Right.
But Jaden Daniels, May, and J.J. McCarthy there in Michigan, all three of those names have been dancing around as being the Washington's quarterback for the last 2 months. And, of course, the fans are, Drake May, no, he sucks. He's not ready. It's Jaden Daniels. No, he sucks. Playing that game for 3 months.
Lots of fun speculation.
But so they ended up, and Jaden Daniels, kind of most people are saying, it's going to be Jaden Daniels. Forget all the subterfuge. It's Jaden Daniels. And that's what happened. And then Drake May ended up going to, like I said, the Patriots. And then J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings traded up to the 10th spot and picked up J.J. McCarthy. So
Really? Okay.
Vikings actually were movers and shakers last night. They made a couple good moves.
Well, Vikings had a rough season last year. I mean, so they could definitely use a boost this upcoming season.
Yeah, well, and then there was a huge head scratcher, which analysts I'm sure will be talking about for days here. For football fans, the Atlanta Falcons during the offseason here signed as a free agent quarterback Kirk Cousins, former Vikings, Commanders, Redskins quarterback.
Yeah.
They signed him to franchise starting quarterback money. He got a big payday in Atlanta here.
Nice.
Well, last night, the Atlanta Falcons pick 8 in the draft.
Okay.
They drafted one of the other top quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. out of Oregon State or Oregon. This guy's probably NFL ready. Most of the experts say he's NFL ready. Like you could put him in.
They're going to put him in a backup role?
Well, and that's what Atlanta's saying. Like he's the quarterback of our future. We got here.
Learn under the learning tree of Kirk Cousins because that actually makes sense.
It does make sense in some circles, but people would think, would you really spend your 8th overall pick to invest in a backup right now? And here's the thing. It's each team is different on this, but a lot of people are saying they brought Kirk Cousins in. They're built to win now.
Right.
To invest your first pick, number 8 overall, and in essence your backup for the future, which is smart if you did it in the 3rd round. But if it's a first rounder, ideally that's a person you're supposed to plug in and play today to get you ready.
That does make sense.
And so it's head scratching on their strategy. What they're thinking there.
As a Green Bay fan, I can sort of see it's not a 1-to-1 comparison.
Yeah.
But as Brett Favre was starting to kind of see his later years, they put Rodgers in that backup position to kind of learn under the learning tree of Brett Favre, and Rodgers became our franchise quarterback for a decade.
But
if you put somebody in a backup position that learns the right way, it can be a franchise position.
But that's only the way to do it if everybody's on board.
Right.
Literally, Kirk Cousins got blindsided last night by saying, "What? We're drafting a guy? No one talked to me about this."
Right.
And so what's that telling your guy that you just paid a lot of money to? Oh, yeah, you're our guy. We trust you. By the way, we're drafting Michael Penix Jr.
That's
just in case.
Yeah, it does smell of of course, but maybe like we're sure.
Yeah.
But just in case.
Put it this way: they possibly created problems in Atlanta by their own doing that they probably could have mitigated if they handled this a little differently. I get what they're trying. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking right now it could be a problem. Now, if Kirk Cousins blows out his knee in training camp, they're going to look like geniuses. But if we could,
or if you get an Aaron Rodgers Jet situation like last season, where you just Kotek's ankle in the first three downs in.
And then of course some people say a coach would be like, you know what? I don't care if he's Kirk Cousins. We got 2 competitors for starting quarterback. Iron sharpens iron. We're going to make them better. And that's a theory too. So, but anyway, it's a head scratcher. People are like, "Wow, that was interesting."
I understand.
So, let me give you all the rundown for today's show. We got the folks from Richland. I believe it's a GM store. I see if I can get my names there. I don't know who. So yeah, I have no idea who's there. But we got the folks from Richland joining us. Get an update from them. Sheriff Mike Harrington, like I mentioned earlier, will join us in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll get an update from the sheriff, obviously on the fire down south and other things happening around Chavez County here. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, I thought I'd wrap up our Friday by replaying an interview. Early in the week, we had artist Greg Birch and author Cindy Sloan Butts join us. Greg in studio, Cindy via the telephone. And we talked about some artwork and things that Greg's been up to. He's back up Fort Sumner doing some pieces for them. And, of course, Cindy Sloan Butts, who's an author who's written many, about 8 or 10 books, just kind of New Mexico fictionized books. But Greg and her have partnered for several of her books. Greg does the artwork and everything. So their latest book is a mysterious tale out of Alamogordo. So
yes.
We talk about that. So we'll play that interview for you here in the 9 o'clock hour.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local national variety, Wall Street business updates, and any other updates we can come up with. But first, let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. We're seeing an easing up of the wind as we're heading through the early morning time. Overnight low dropping area-wide into the low 50s. Now, plenty of sunshine coming our way for Friday. The winds are picking back up from the west. Could see some gusts closer to about 35 miles per hour. Some elevated fire weather concerns returning too. And our highs on Friday from the low to mid-80s. Stronger winds Saturday and highs are from the upper 70s to near 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 54 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 40%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. We have and today they're saying sunny skies, 85 for a high. Winds will be out of the west. 10 to 15 early, 15 to 20 this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 52 degrees. Southwest winds 15 to 20. Early, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Expect those winds to drop 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. For you Saturday, we do have, it's going to be windy, a fire weather watch for Saturday. As of right now, I imagine they'll add some red flag warnings to that later. But a fire weather watch for Saturday beginning at noon, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. They're talking patchy blowing dust for Saturday afternoon. Sunny and a high of 78, so cooler too. Winds will be blowing out of the southwest 10 to 20, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour by Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, we're looking at patchy blowing dust before 7 p.m., mostly clear after that with an overnight low of 48 degrees. Winds will be out of the west 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 10 to 20 after midnight. Sunday, sunny skies, highs back into the low 80s, 82, with west winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 51. And when you head back to work and school on Monday, sunny and a high of 87. Just looking at next week, looks like we'll be floating in the upper 80s, 90s. Looks like Wednesday, Thursday, they're sprinkling in some rain chances, but we'll see if that materializes into anything as we get closer to that time frame. All right, it is 7:24. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk with the folks from Richland on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's becoming more challenging to be an educator today. If you'd like to consider a change in your teaching environment where you can teach students how to learn instead of what to learn while centering your classes day around God, consider a position with Artesia Classical Academy. Artesia Classical Academy has positions in music, art, kindergarten through 2nd grade, and various 7th grade subjects available, and they are now offering competitive pay. If you're interested in a teaching environment with more freedom to teach, please reach out to Artesia Classical Academy. Call or visit Artesia Classical Academy classicalacademy.org. Artesia Classical Academy, preparing minds for action.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Age Safety Facility. Equal opportunity
Ruben
employer.
Losley here with Richland. We have over 80 pre-owned vehicles on our lot, and they are all marked with great deals. So of course you're getting the best price at Richland. But you also get powertrain for life. If you do all your oil changes and tire rotations at Richland, you get a powertrain warranty that includes all engine, transmission, and driveline repairs for the life of your vehicle, which means thousands of dollars in savings. So save yourself some dollars and worries and purchase your vehicle from Richland at 2nd and Sycamore and at the Y in Roswell, home of Powertrain for Life.
It's time for another great weekend of junior college baseball at NMMI in Roswell. This weekend, the Broncos host the Amarillo College Badgers in a 4-game series. Games are at noon and 3 Friday and Saturday. The Broncos are looking to get back into the Region 5 playoffs for the second year in a row, a first ever back-to-back appearance for NMMI. Come out and spend the day at the ballpark and enjoy Bronco baseball Friday and Saturday versus Amarillo College.
Senator Greg Nybert is known as a conservative Republican who is effectively fighting for us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, this time we're talking Richland GM. We have Freddie and Ruben join us from the GM store this morning. Morning, guys. How y'all doing? Good morning.
Hey, hey.
Good. Good. Of course, we talked Dodge last Friday here. We had Scott, I think, was it Brady? I can't remember.
And Brady, yeah.
Yeah, joining us here. So now we get the GM. They didn't talk too much smack about you guys, so it's no big deal. They were very friendly. So, you can talk all kind of smack. No,
just give us 5 minutes.
That's right. Of course, kind of same. A lot of the same things we talked a little bit about last week with them is kind of applies too at the GM store as far as inventory, as far as incentives, all the things that you kind of saw before the COVID world. They're starting to look more like that now, as far as like the manufacturers are now starting to come out with better incentives, so straight from the factory, which gives you guys a lot of options too at this level here. So you're starting to see the things that you were seeing from the manufacturers pre-COVID starting to happen again in your world.
Yeah,
so
things are finally starting to feel like it's getting back to normal.
Yeah.
I mean, and right now with everything going on, rates have been kind of the big interest rates have been a big topic of discussion.
They're coming down now.
And so interest rates are starting to come down. The manufacturers are putting incentivized rates when you've been used to these high rates. All of a sudden they're putting
starting to see rebates.
Yeah, 1.9 big rebates, especially on that Dodge stuff. But it's finally starting to feel like it's back to normal. And really, because of the way we did things during COVID, we have one of the best selections of inventory, both new and used, of anyone in southeastern New Mexico. So.
Absolutely. Kind of while we're still talking COVID, and we talked about this during our Richland Dodge conversation, but it's the same. And I say this, I try to say this a lot now because it's especially in the world we live in today and in the business world. Richland during COVID, for those that weren't aware, everything, obviously, supply and demand was completely just bonkers. Cars weren't being manufactured. Cars, it was the lots were empty. Everything was. But here's the deal: when the cars did come in, because of that, the dealerships were marking up these cars, and the sticker may have said $40,000, but they were paying $60,000-$70,000 for a $40,000 vehicle.
And that's one thing that we didn't take advantage of our customers
during COVID.
That, yeah.
Richland said, no, we're going to keep the prices what they are. And what you saw was not only did you guys see your customers here appreciate that, but you started garnering customers out of state, other places that are looking online for a particular Chevy or Dodge or whatever it is, and Richland would have on a lot, and they're like, okay, well, and then of course if it was sitting in another dealership, they're like, how come it's $70,000 there but only 40 here? And you guys earned a lot of business and treated people right during that time. Absolutely. And when it was a time where, let's face it, a lot of businesses were taking advantage of people because they could, quite frankly. You guys chose to not do that. You said, no, this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. When this is all said and done, we want people to remember, we were trying to be there and working with you when even the times sucked. Yeah. And that's something I always remember. Now the times don't suck like that. Yeah. It's time to respect and repay and support the people that took care of you during that time. And that's one thing I've always, say about Richland, proud about Richland, that, you guys, you could have easily gone that route and marked people up and made a little bit of a scratch for yourselves. But you said, no, we're all this together. Look, you need a truck. We're not going to mark it up because we can. The sticker price is a sticker price. That's what we're going to do, and we'll work with it. Oh, by the way, we can deliver it to you. We can get it to you even though you're in Texas or whatever.
We picked up so many of these little honey holes. Like we got David Kinney. We hired a guy that just drives for us now, which is crazy. Just one guy with a huge trailer, but we got these honey holes in Dallas and Colorado where we sold one person a car and they've told all their friends. And so this guy knows exactly where he's going by just saying, hey, we're going to go to this group of people.
And that's that non-marketing way to tell if a business is good.
It's organic.
Yeah, exactly. That word of mouth, that when you see that kind of thing, that is the best evidence that you can have that a business treats its customers right, or it's no different than if you're looking for a job. If you go to a place and the people that are working there, there's a lot of guys that have been there 20, 30 years. That's pretty a clue that it's probably a pretty good place to work. People that don't like a place ain't sticking around 20 and 30 years to do that. Exactly. They've got a group. It's no different than in the business world here. If it's and that's what you got now. Now that even though we're going on 5 years out of COVID here, people in Dallas and these various other places are saying, no, it's time for a new car. Those guys in Richland and New Mexico hooked me up. I'm going to go talk to them first.
Well, we take care of our customers during the process, after the process. We're the only people around that are offering powertrain for life on almost every vehicle.
Yeah, the brand champion thing in and of itself is a cool, there's part of that program. And then again, that's kind of like your contract with your customers.
Yeah, Once you buy from us, 50% off on oil changes. Golly. Oil changes are $100.
I'm about to say, you seen the price of oil right now?
Yeah, you get that 50. You can't buy oil cheaper and do it yourself and then figure out where to recycle it.
Yeah.
Just bring it to us. Let us take care of all that.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, they'll check out all the other stuff, making sure, your other fluids are topped off and, making sure just the routine maintenance, how your tires looking, how, everything looking ship shape, the filter's looking good, or how's your belts, just making sure that your car is still as safe as it was when you drove it off the lot there. So absolutely.
Yeah, everyone has a car guy somewhere, right? And what's been crazy is just seeing, especially how we did things during COVID, what's changed people's mindsets and ideas of what a car dealership can be. I mean, not just only gaining customers, but we gained employees during COVID, because when most people are throttling back when things are hard,
it's true. You guys
what we've always done is just put our foot on the gas, and go harder. And so when things were hard, we didn't lose any employees.
They'll be over across the street at the next lot the next day.
Well, and it's organic even there, because we're not advertising to get new people in.
Sure.
People are reaching out to us, and then
it's like
we always hire good people before we hire good salesmen.
Sure.
I mean, so you get good people in. We'll
It's like
teach,
barbecuing. You just start cooking and
Yeah.
people show up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and
It allows us to be selective.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're,
Yeah, you
we're
get-
never in a.
Well, I imagine you just don't hire everything off the street. You want people that you know that are going to treat your customers right, that have a good ability to have a knowledge base of the product and able to converse with people and talk. I mean, there are skill sets you just can't roll in off the street, be a salesman. You gotta have the desire, but B, you got to know some things to do that kind of stuff.
It's the people business.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
if you don't have interest in being in the people business,
And
it's
then,
not
you know,
going to
it's
work.
kind of testing to the hiring thing, and it doesn't matter if it's the Dodge store or the GM store here. You guys have quite a few of your staff that literally started maybe as high school teenagers coming in, starting out washing cars or just doing some of the ancillary stuff around the dealerships.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, they're sales managers, they're finance managers,
I'm a testament to that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I worked in the parts department when I first started, and all the way up to a sales manager.
So it's that really growing from within. It's not. I mean, sure, you know, it's business. You know, some guys are like, "Hey, I'm coming in. I'm a salesman, and I've been here before." You know, that's it. But you probably have a lot of people that really started their careers at Richland and 10, 15 years later are still at Richland.
Yeah.
And so that's a testament, especially in the car business,
Yes,
where
it is.
and a whim, people move, and you know, and of course things happen, and it can be a volatile business depending on how you run your dealership. You know, 1 minute it's buy, sell, next shut it all down. Next week buy, sell, shut it down.
Longevity isn't something that's you see a whole lot in the car business, and it's something we pride ourselves on. Is so many people have been here for so long.
Well, I think you guys at Richland have kind of figured out the game plan on how to make that happen, and that's what you guys do every single day. So.
Yeah, it's simple. When you're putting your customer first and working your way backwards, it's an easy game plan. And
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's. And I always joke, but I'm not joking. It's literally that family experience. It don't matter if you walk into the GM store or the Dodge store. You walk in, it's that, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, very polite but informal. You know what I mean? It's just like kind of like you're part of the family. Come in, want a drink, want some chips.
Yeah.
We're just watching the game. Come on in. It's that
exactly
that feeling when you're in there, and that creates a less stressful environment. And so, but through that, your talk, it's like, yeah, I'm here. I got a truck and it's great, but it's about time to replace it. And I need something similar. And that's when you guys go to work. All right, yeah, I can see that. All right, you know what? I think we can help you with that. We got this over here, or you know what? I got a car now and I love it, but I need something that hauls things. All right, and that's when the salespeople do their magic and do all that kind of.
We
stuff.
make it easy because our sales process is so transparent.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing hidden. You want the best price? We got the best price on the vehicle. You want to know what your vehicle's worth? No problem. We're going to appraise your vehicle.
Absolutely.
You know, and then with the sales team, every team has 3 people on it. So if
so if one's busy, there's someone else to fill the void there real quick.
When you
the
get
attention to detail is so great that you don't see it other places, just because there's so many people working for the exact same thing. So
That's great.
Each team with 3 people, 3 sets of managers at each place you go to. I mean, it just makes it so that way there's nothing missed.
Absolutely. Well, and you guys are really have, I think, changed the you know, obviously us guys growing up, we remember, you know, the running joke was, all right, let's go get beat up and buy a car today. We're going to the dealership and we're going to fight and drag it. You know, that was the mindset.
Yeah.
The TV, everybody, it's like, you're going to buy a car. All right, get ready for a fight. You know what I mean? It was all right. We're the art of the negotiation. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, people negotiate all the time still. That does happen. But it's back to that. No, it's not, all right, I got to gear up in a fight like I'm getting ready to, it's either win or lose here. No, I'm going to buy a car, and we're going to treat it that way. It's not a fight.
No.
None of that is any of that. Yes, I know we have the jokes and all that stuff, and we'll make the jokes, sure. But at the end of the day, no, it's a complete opposite of that. We want to help you buy the car. We want to help you not try to steer you in a direction to make more money for us, but to steer you in a direction that is right for you.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference is. It's kind of, you know, those other negotiations, like, no, we're going to add on the clear coat, you know, or whatever the thing is that they say out there, and you're all like, no, that's a way, you know, that whole battle. No, you guys are sitting and talking to them. This maintenance plan, this, of course, you're a brand champion, so this is already included. We don't have to worry about those kind of negotiations. And so That's what we're talking about.
We want it to be as easy as a process for us as it is for you. And want you to keep coming back. We don't want to sell you one car. We want to sell you all your vehicles.
Yeah, this is kind of that thing, and yeah, exactly like you say, and not just that, but families. You know, you want that point, and you see this all the time where you sold a family a car, I don't know, 10 years ago or whatever it was, and they had kids, and next thing you know, one of them's turning 16. Oh, my boy is 16, my daughter's 16. Don't put her in anything too expensive, but get her something safe.
Well, and then you got salesmen like Martin, who's been doing this for 30 years.
30 years almost.
But, I mean, where he sold 3 and 4 generations of the same family cars.
Yeah.
And so, and where they haven't even met him, and they walk in and say, my dad told me to come in and talk to Martin.
How cool is that?
You know what I'm saying? And so
it's like the permanent pen pal, family pen pal. It's like we send them Christmas cards. Never seen them.
Yeah,
we get Christmas cards. Send each other $5 checks in the mail.
I'm starting to be that old guy. Yesterday, a couple days ago, I'm looking at an application. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my buddy's son over here.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. There's those days where you're like, man, I'm officially old.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you weren't even around.
Yeah.
Oh, when you were like this big. Yeah. Now they're
running around with your dad at your age.
Well, and it's crazy when you start off as a customer and you end up as a bud. Like Ruben has a regular scheduled golf game now with a customer who came in and bought a car, and it's every day out, right before Ruben's day off. I watch and I hear the phone ring, and it's them planning their golf, who just started off.
Well,
as
that's
a customer.
awesome. That's great too. And of course, now that's going to leave you in the lurch because there's going to be the 2 p.m. You're on the toilet. Give me my car right now.
Hey, and you know what? And that's okay.
He'll jump in. He's like, let me finish first. I'll meet you over there.
Why is it echoing? Well, I'm working this deal from the.
Why is it what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just a hall equi. Yeah. That's Was that a toilet flushing? No.
Is that a vent fan?
Yeah. but seriously, that's what it is about. And if you're looking for a vehicle, whether it's your first time you ever bought one or you bought 500 of these things, come see Richland. Whether, obviously we got the GM boys here, so come and check out our GM products. But if you're a Dodge or a Chrysler or a Ram person or a Jeep, get your butt on down to the Dodge store and check out the great selection there too. They got a huge selection of. I know it's getting bigger and bigger every time I drive by that little area. Because I'm a Jeep guy, so I'm always.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh, 2 more out there. So, times are things are getting better at all dealerships. But if you're looking to have that a good car buying experience, please check out Richland. And if what's on the lot's not what you want, they will bust their hump to try to track down what you're getting. They do scour the internet and turn rocks over. Is ordering your vehicles still a very popular thing, or is that kind of taking a back seat now that we're coming out of COVID a little bit?
So for years, us as managers have been preaching order cars, get your customers to order cars because it's a recurring business. But it never really caught on until what happened during COVID. And so now, with the way things are, ordering cars is happening so much more. And I think we're doing probably 10 to 12, if not more, ordered units a month that are just where they're ordering. And so it just makes it so that way things go so much smoother.
Yeah. Well, and car buying, especially if you're first time, it can be fun. You're excited, new car, all this.
Oh, yeah.
But
we have a guy dedicated to that.
Yeah.
Brandon Johnson.
But I think there's another level altogether when you're picking your car. Like, I want the blue, I want that cobalt blue, whatever color it is. I want them alloy wheels. I want that leather interior. I want it this, I want that taupe here with that, Well,
and that's what made this happen is like with when COVID and everything happened, people started ordering more cars.
Yeah.
We had to create a job create a whole new job.
Yeah.
And then now that's what Brandon does is he controls inventory for both stores, does all he's the guy you come in and talk to when you want to order a vehicle. Nice. He sits down there and he knows every package, how to make it look exactly, and
that's awesome.
Make it so that way it's going to get ordered and picked up in a faster manner.
I bet it's like a little party every time the car comes in and the customers come down to pick up their car for the first time and all that.
We're just excited for this, because we get to see it first. We're
exactly,
like, hey,
but
so-and-so's car. And
it's like the new car thing level. Like you buy a car and if it's one you bought off the lot, brand new or pre-owned, you're excited and happy. Cool, man. But at the end of the day, you didn't pick it all. You picked it, but someone else picked the colors and everything on this one. You know, I mean, it was there. And so sometimes you settle. You're like, I love this car, but the windshield wipers are the color I don't like. You know what I mean? Something like that. And so, but with this car, none of that happened. You picked every aspect of it. And not a lot of us get that opportunity in life to do that, because it's kind of, prior to COVID, kind of looked at it like, think I'm a millionaire? I ain't got, you know, I can't be doing that. I'm not that kind of baller. And but now we're like, no, we're all ballers today.
People didn't understand how easy and convenient it was to order.
They thought it was much pricier, much more expensive, and it really isn't. It's just you have to wait a little while while they actually build your car. But when it comes in, guess what? It's to your choosing and everything.
Well, how many times have you bought a car, myself included, where it wasn't exactly what you wanted? It was close. And so this is really the only way you get exactly what you want.
Absolutely.
And the cool thing out with the ordering now is watching as a truck pulls up full of cars, and you see every salesman running on the lot to see if their customer's on there, and how many customers have received a picture on their phone of their truck sitting on top of another truck. And or the customer sending us a picture. Hey, I was just driving by the dealership last night at 9:30.
I think I saw it.
And my truck.
I saw this at a gas station.
Don't you give that away? That's mine. But see, that's the part of it. It's putting the fun in car buying even more. It gives adults, grown adults, the feeling of a 7-year-old again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's exactly what it does, and we all love that. And so, so if you're thinking, I've always wanted a Silverado, but I wanted it with this on it and this thing, and come on down, and we can make that happen. It's absolutely possible, and it's not as it's not the convoluted thing you think it is. It's literally coming down, talking to Brandon, picking, doing your thing, and then we'll see it when the car is ready and comes in. We'll call you when it's ready.
And there's a very good chance that we have it on the lot.
Yeah,
already.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I know some people are like, no, I want this interior. You know, you know, and conversely here too is during COVID, you had a lot of new vehicles coming in, and we talked a little bit about this last week too. But you know, we're still in that little world a little bit where people bought new cars during COVID, and they need a new car and they like the car, but it didn't have the right wheels or didn't have the maybe the seating arrangement or the tow package that they wanted or something like that. And so now that the new cars are showing back up, people have since traded these vehicles in to get the one they want, and now that's the one with the tow package or one. But we're seeing a flux of pre-owned vehicles that are literally 1-2 years old, and they were traded in early because they were the wrong shade of green for somebody. There's absolutely nothing wrong. These are brand new vehicles. Still, some of them still have new car smell.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want alloy. I wanted aluminum or whatever.
This is made for one of the best used car inventories we've had in years.
Yeah.
Because of when people are ordering cars and their new stuff comes in, it's amazing how clean and pristine they're going to keep their trade in until their new one comes in because they want to get the most money for it. So we're getting some of the nicest trades we've ever got in years. Our used car inventory between both stores is great. I mean, it's crazy to see how well that has built organically our used car departments, because just because of us turning cars fast, we're getting so many nice trades.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for a pre-owned, please go to the lots here, and like you said, when you're out running through the GM store and you see everything, and you know what, if there's not something you're there, we'll go to the Dodge lot, or better yet, they'll call the Dodge store and say, yeah, they got one. They'll bring it over for you. And we'll take a look at it. and vice versa. If you're over the Dodge store and you don't see them, they come, they'll take one over. That's part of that Richland family thing. It's like, yeah, if you don't see it on our lot, guess what? We'll go over. Oh, it's not on your one lot? All right, let me make some calls. I think I know some people we can turn over some rocks here.
If you don't have time, we'll take it to your house. We'll take it to your work.
It's all about the customer service. That's Richland's embraced that. From the moment you walk into the door till years after you bought that vehicle. That's exactly what they want to do. And you know, I know we say it every time, but it really is the case. They're not selling you the car for now. They're selling you your family's cars for the next generations. And because that idea is to make you happy and make it as most positive experience as possible. So in 5, 10, whenever that magic number is that you're ready for a new vehicle, you walk back into Richland and say, I'm ready for my new whatever it is, truck, Jeep, Corvette, whatever it is you're into. They're going to be there to help you through that process.
Even if you don't know what you're looking for.
That's the other thing, too. Let them help you find.
Yeah,
describe your needs and let them say, well, this would be a perfect vehicle for that kind of, to meet your needs here. I got work to do, but I can't afford a $200 gas bill every time I do that. All right, well, we got you something that can haul but doesn't have a 700-gallon tank. We can figure this out.
You're a prime example of that, Mike.
Yeah,
you had no idea you wanted a Jeep until we put one in front of you.
Yeah,
I mean, and then it changes.
I'm under Jeep owner for life.
Yeah, and then it changes.
I will not be in when this Jeep. Whenever I decide to get a new one, whether it'll be another Jeep. I'm literally. You might bury me in a Jeep. That might be my thing. Just create a slightly bigger hole and drive the Jeep in it and call it good.
How's your Jeep Wave? You got your Jeep Wave?
I got my Jeep Wave. I've been ducked a couple times. I'm fully involved now. So, but yeah, I got the. I'm occasionally, because I don't take the thing off very often. Sometimes I'll take the T-tops off, but I don't take the whole thing off very often because I'm lazy. But but yeah, there is a difference. Like if you're just driving with the top, a simple 2 over the steering wheel is proper. However, if you do have the T-tops off or the tops off, proper protocols above the windshield with the 2 fingers. So just in case new Jeep owners.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you happen to be at the store or something, you come back and someone leaves a little rubber duck on your door frame or on your windshield or something, that's a badge of honor.
Yes.
Don't look at these stupid kids. What
the heck is this?
You're being ducked. It's a thing. Return the favor.
Everyone that I know has owned a Jeep keeps a few ducks in their Jeep.
I got a duck sitting right on my head.
So that way they can pass them out.
So yeah, absolutely. But that's part of the fun. But really, whatever you're looking for, and like I said, if it's not in the GM store, the Dodge store, they will find it for you. If you're looking, and of course, school's getting out soon, so summer kids. If you're looking for kids for the vehicles for college,
oh man,
all that
I've
kind
got
of
some
stuff.
great vehicles
There's
right
some
now.
Great
for that.
deals. Now's the time to be doing that stuff.
Absolutely.
Actually, now's probably a better time because in a month or two, everybody and their uncle are doing that, and pickings might be a little slimmer by that.
We're going into our busiest time of the season right now, of the year in the summer months, and so your inventory is going to be turning extremely fast.
Yeah.
And so what you see there on a Saturday whenever you drive by may not be there the weekend after if you decide to wait. So if there's something that catches your eye as you're stopping by, give us a call, pull in real quick, because it's amazing how fast some of especially these used cars are just moving before they even get a chance.
Absolutely. So yeah, get involved in the game. Don't forget too, you can shop online too. You can go to either Richland store, the GM or the Dodge store. You can go to their websites and shop in the comfort of your underwear while you're looking, and then when you see a couple cars you like, come by or call ahead and say, hey, I saw this car, and this car online. Can I take a look at them and get there? No problem. We'll line them up for you when you get here, and we'll take care of that kind of thing. So or if you're like, nah, I like to walk, and you get there, and we'll walk the entire lot, and you can touch and rub every single car on there if you want to. Whatever you want to do, your staff will accommodate and make sure that you come happy and ready to, And then if you need, if it's down to 2 cars, they'll give you advice too. If you like this, go this way. If you like this, Personally, that car's sweeter than that one. I'd go with that one, but you do you. But that's your salespeople will help you with that stuff.
Take it home, drive it overnight.
That's right too. Yeah, you get to drive it. I mean, I know when I bought my Jeep, I think I drove 3 or 4 Jeeps for like 3 or 4 days before I finally
settled.
Yeah, I think I drove this Jeep I got first, and then I drove a couple more. And I said, no, that's the one I like.
Yeah,
I was a less is more guy. I like little simplicity in my life. I'm not. I like some bells and whistles, but I don't need the car to tell me every time I fart or something like that. It's like these day and age, it's like heated, cooled. Oh, by the way, it takes your blood pressure, and you're like, I don't want all that.
Nope.
Till you sit in one that massages your back.
Yeah, now that I can get by, But it is a Jeep.
Yeah.
It's like you go into a dive bar, it's not supposed to be classy in there. It's just not, and a Jeep's not supposed to be fancy like that. I mean, yeah, the bars, the colors, but I'm sorry, it's not supposed to be Knight Rider. It's not supposed to have computers and talk back and do all the things that cars do today.
It's crazy what some of this technology has in it now.
Absolutely, it is. So,
hey, on a separate note,
yes,
but today as you walk around, if you see Ruben walking around, make sure you wish him happy birthday.
Oh it's your birthday today.
It is.
Happy birthday. Mine was yesterday.
Happy birthday to
happy
you.
birthday to both of you.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's some of my cake in there if you want a piece before you
Absolutely.
go. It's all chocolate if you're a chocolate
You're
fan.
speaking his language.
If you know me, that's
You're talking his love language
Have
right
some
now.
cake. It's in the break room. They surprised me with the cake yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to even have a piece yet. That's on my tap for today. But Sean and Roy and all them got pieces, not me so much. But well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Come say, you know what? Never mind, because that's not going to help us. Hey, you got to pay extra commission on if he sells you a car today. I'm just kidding.
Not at all. Not at all. Every day at Richland, it's your gift. You know, with the Powertrain for Life, the
Absolutely.
brand champion, we're giving and giving and giving.
Yeah, ask about that. It really is. That's the customer care afterwards. Like you said, the oil changes, the rides when you know if you need your vehicle serviced, the loaners, all the stuff. It's just those perks to navigate life a little bit easier for you when you do have dealings with your vehicle, and sometimes because you live and die by your car sometimes, and the car's down, your whole life is down. So they offer and say, hey, no, we'll get the car fixed. Here's a loaner. Go take care of that. Live your life while we get your car back ready for you. So, good deal. Did we get it all?
I believe so.
Excellent. Well,
I could do this all day, so
we could.
Luckily, you put a time limit on it.
Well, they do get salty if I cut into not pay commercials. And stuff. You guys get mad when we don't play your commercials. So. Very good. Well, thank you guys, and come on down. Like I said, come on down. Give if you get down to the GM store today, make sure you hunt down Ruben and wish him a happy birthday here today too. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any never mind. I'll talk off air. It's car guys. Like, do you have to do any like naked running through anything or any kind of?
There's probably not
birthday?
a whole lot I wouldn't do.
It's his birthday.
Time to a
Everything
chair.
goes out the window.
Yeah, like time to a chair. Some kind. I know. I was in the military. You and I. You guys have the same kind of way we play with folks. Thank you guys. It is 7:58. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nybert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment groups to defeat the governor's attempt to ban or register firearms and accessories. We must retain legislators like Senator Nybert, who has the proven knowledge, skills, and experience to stop the liberal progressives from imposing upon our constitutional rights. Senator Nybert is the only candidate running for Senate District 27 to be rated A and endorsed by the NRA. Please vote to retain Senator Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
You don't have to live with a non-healing wound. The Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center at Artesia General Hospital provides compassionate care to people experiencing chronic or complicated wounds. Led by certified family nurse practitioner Rochelle McIntyre, our wound care team will work with you to build your customized treatment plan. Podiatrist Jennifer Chow and Joseph Krupa also specialize in lower limb wound care, and we are proud to have state-of-the-art hyperbaric oxygen chambers, a proven treatment that promotes successful healing. Visit artesiageneral.com/wound to learn more.
It's over percent February to March. That was the same as in the previous month. It was also the third straight month the index outpaced the Fed's 2% inflation target. Measured from a year ago, prices were up 2.7% in March. Ohio State and Emory University in Atlanta among the latest schools where anti-Israel protests have broken out. Demonstrations depriving students from one California University of a rite of passage.
USC has announced the big May 10th commencement ceremony is now canceled. It comes a day after 90 people were arrested on campus. One was cited for having a weapon. There will still be dozens of individual school ceremonies that day with caps, gowns, and diplomas, but the main event is canceled, as was the valedictorian speech announced last week, prompting anger among some students like Isabel Griggs.
She's talking about issues that are important not only to our university and to students, but to the world.
Universities around the country calling in bullies to break up some demonstrations. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Secretary of State Blinken has met with Chinese President Xi in Beijing. The BBC's Stephen McDonald said two sides and butting heads over a number of contentious issues.
It's hard for them to find a way forward on these, Eric, because now they don't trust one another. To tell the truth, the trick is to find the places where they can cooperate, where they can free up trade.
And among the areas of disagreement, Taiwan, the South China Sea, and trade, as well as human rights, and China's continuing support of Russia in the war in Ukraine. Stocks higher on Wall Street, now up 140 points, NASDAQ ahead 279. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Air travel headaches for those flying into or out of Paris, even though air traffic controllers had called off a planned strike.
Flight operations have been substantially reduced because of adjustments made to schedules ahead of the proposed industrial action. In a preemptive move, French civil aviation authorities had asked airlines to cut their flights significantly, over 50% in both Paris airports and elsewhere. As a result, operations have been severely limited, also affecting international flights that cross French airspace. I'm Karen Chavez.
Japan's space agency planning to launch a major upgrade to its satellite imaging system as a new flagship rocket is put to the test for a third time. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency says an H-3 rocket will be launched from the southwestern Japanese island on June 30th. The company, Japan reviews commercially competitive space transport as key to national security. Townhall.com. The head of the National Religious Broadcasters disappointed with the FCC's decision reimposing Obama-era net neutrality rules.
President and CEO Troy Miller says the rules constitute a drastic and excessive expansion of federal regulatory reach while failing to address real threats of viewpoint discrimination by what he called edge providers. The commission vote on net neutrality was 3 times. Miller says net neutrality gives big tech BMOs an advantage over internet service providers and harms innovation and investment in a competitive U.S. industry. Keith Peters reporting.
TikTok racing for a legal fight against the U.S. law that would force the social media platform to break ties with its China-based parent company or face a ban in the U.S. Should a legal challenge fail, observers say Chinese authorities are unlikely to allow a sale. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It is Friday.
Yeah.
Kind of a crazy Friday, but a Friday.
It has been wacky, yeah. With the wind, with the fires. We're having internet issues.
Yeah. Yeah, we apologize. What's going on is, and we think it's, I don't want to get really inside baseball, but we have internet providers in Artesia and Roswell. They're different providers in each because of one's not available in others.
Right.
But anyway, so we have like VPNs. There's a lot of stuff that's above my pay grade going on. But anyway, they're having some issues, and I think it's more internet-based, and so our IT are coordinating to get this stuff. So I apologize. So that's why you're hearing the stammering during our newses and stuff.
Yep.
All the stuff that's internet and satellite fed is kind of being a bit ornery this morning. So we're trying to work through that. We don't know if this is related to the down south thing or, but from what I'm understanding, internet has been sluggish all over Roswell and Artesia. I'm understanding. So,
which I think
it might be a bigger thing.
I feel like the wind probably knocked a few things out, probably
could be.
messed with some infrastructure.
Wind does tend to do. And when there's wind, there's sometimes. Did our guest come here?
I
heard a door open and close.
Oh,
but
there is.
Sweet.
Sure, go here. Is Mike with you?
All right, cool. Well, you want to go do
it,
that, and we'll do that because we have Sheriff Mike Harrington to join us in a bit, but we need him to do something before he comes on La Radio. So we're gonna get him to do some stuff real quick. Hey, I do want to invite you on out this weekend. The big carnival that's happening. It's actually got underway yesterday out at the Wool Bowl. Moore's Greater Shows. It's part of the Moms Loving Hope big carnival event that's started yesterday, and it's going through May 5th over at the Wool Bowl. So, but the carnival got underway last night, and it will continue each night here at the Wool Bowl parking lot. So for tonight, they're going to be opening. The rides will be opening at 6. They'll be open from 6 to 11. You can get unlimited ride armbands out there tonight for just $35. If you don't want a whole unlimited ride armband, you're like, I just want to ride 1 or 2 rides, no problem. We can do that too. Tickets are $2 each when purchased individually. If you buy a sheet of 20, they'll be $1.50, so saving you $10 there. Children's rides will require 3 tickets. Adult rides are 4 tickets. And if you ride the El Loco out there this week, that will be 5 tickets there. So you can do that, or you can just get the unlimited ride armband and don't have to worry about counting tickets and all that good stuff. But they'll be open from 6 to 11 today, and then tomorrow, that's a good day to take advantage of the unlimited ride armbands because they're going to be open for 10 hours from 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. to 1 to 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. Geez, I'll get that right. 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can get your unlimited ride armband for $35 for Saturday, and you can ride there. Now on Sunday, the carnival will open up at 4 o'clock, and we'll be open till 10. Again, you can get unlimited ride armbands for $35. Monday, they'll open at 6. Unlimited ride armbands are $30. Now Tuesday, if you have one day that you're available to ride out in the carnival, the day that you probably want to save to bring the whole family will be Tuesday of next week. They're going to be open. They'll open at 6 p.m. that day, and it's 2 for Tuesday. If you buy one armband, unlimited ride armband, you get the second one for free. So that'll be that day for $30. And then Friday, again, next week, 6 to 11. Saturday, 1 to 11, and then 4 to 10 next Sunday. And so that'll be the last day of the carnival there next Sunday, 1 week from this Sunday here. So, but the big, and of course, they got all of the classic rides. Your favorites, plus the Venetian Swing, the Nemesis, your Ferris wheel, that's a tradition, right? Tilt-A-Whirl, and extreme rides like that El Loco and Top Gun. So, plus, come hungry, they're gonna be lots of food trucks, lots of classic foods as well, and it's all happening at the Wool Bowl. It got underway yesterday, will continue through May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, so you can come, and I know the city and all that, they're not having an official Cinco de Mayo celebration this year, so make Moore's Greatest Shows and the Moms Loving Hope Carnival event that's going on out there all the rest of this week and into next and all next week. Make that your Cinco de Mayo celebration. Bring the whole family out. They're going to have tons of food. And, of course, with Moms Loving Hope, a great nonprofit organization that they really and that's what this whole week-long event is, a nonprofit fundraising event for Moms Loving Hope, raise funds for them to help families in need here in our community. They help with all kinds of ancillary stuff. If families need resources for things, they find it to them, put them in touch with those people. It's kind of a organization that's kind of a catch-all. They, if a family is struggling, they provide resources to families that are struggling, and that's, and so it's just moms looking out for families. That's kind of the whole premise behind the organization. But they've been kind of growing. This is actually their second annual carnival and everything. They did their first one last year, had a great success with it, and so we're doing it again. So when you're out there riding the rides and getting your unlimited ride armbands and eating all your food, you'll also be able to visit. There are going to be nonprofits and other organizations that are offering resources and information for free. So if you are in the need of some of these kind of resources and things, come on out to the carnival and you can meet. And so if you want to let the kids go ride the rides and stuff while you're talking and navigating some of that stuff, you can do all that too. But so it's going to be a lot of fun. But if you're just looking to have a good time for the family, come on out, ride the rides, eat the food, come enjoy live music. There are going to be concerts and things, local bands and things performing pretty much every night out there at the carnival as well too. So a lot of fun. Moore's Greater shows. They're going to be the carnival. They're the ones providing all the riding and fun for you this week at the carnival there. Again, tonight continues through May 5th. They open weeknights with the exception of Fridays at 6 p.m. Nightly. Or I'm sorry, weeknights they open at 6 p.m. each night. During the weeknights they close at 10, except on Fridays that'll be 11. Weekends 1 p.m. they open on Saturdays, and they'll go to 11, and then they open at 4 p.m. till 10 on Sundays. So all that there. It is 8:13. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. We're going to see an easing up of the wind as we're heading through the early morning time. Overnight low dropping area-wide into the low 50s. Now, plenty of sunshine coming our way for Friday. The winds are picking back up from the west. Could see some gusts closer to about 35 miles per hour. Some elevated fire weather concerns returning too. And our highs on Friday from the low to mid-80s. Stronger winds Saturday and highs are from the upper 70s to near 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Already at 60. Warming up nicely. Humidity is at 30% with southeast winds at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today. Expect a high of 85 degrees with southwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour later this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 52 degrees with southwest winds 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Expect those winds to drop 10 to 15 miles per hour after midnight tonight. For you Saturday, patchy blowing dust for the afternoon. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, 78 the expected high, but the winds will be churning out of the southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour early. Later in the day, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at mostly clear skies, overnight low of 48 degrees. Winds will be blowing out of the west 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 10 to 20 after midnight Saturday night. Sunday, sunny skies, 82 for a high with west winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 51. And then sunny, 87 when you head back to work and school on Monday. Looks like we'll be in the upper 80s, 90s. Tuesday, 93, 90 on Wednesday. And then there's some rain chances, like 20, 30% chances Wednesday into Thursday. We'll see if that still lingers once we get through the weekend. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take about a 4-minute break, and then we'll talk with Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington here on the other side, get an update from him. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And now, through June 30th, get 0% APR for 84 months and up to $2,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit Amigo Machinery, located at 2801 Southeast Main Street, Roswell.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? It's simple. Great selection, great savings, and great people. Right now, the lot is loaded with all new Hyundai models, including Elantras, Santa Fe's, and Palisades. And with 0% on select new, 5-year warranty, and 3 years free oil changes on all 2024 models in stock. Now's the time to trade up and save big. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Come check out the all-new and used car supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
You're invited. Car Affair 2024, presented by the Cars Club of Carlsbad. Saturday, June 1st at the beach in Carlsbad. Early registration is Friday with a cruise. Then Saturday, car registration starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy music, food, car-related swap meet, a 5K run, door prizes, and a special Try 5 Chevys area. To register or for more information, visit carsclubofcarlsbad.com.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices. So come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
Senator Greg Neibert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Neibert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Neibert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Neibert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Neibert for State Senate.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Sheriff Mike Terrington's here. He's finishing up a phone call. I think he just officially finished here.
Yes,
and
I
then
did.
we have Lieutenant Charles Drake with us as well. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Good. I know, did either one of you, were you out there all night last night for the fire stuff,
No.
or just for the
So we let
the beginning of it?
Yeah, the firemen handled that perfectly. We were there at the beginning of it, and then we let them take it from there.
Excellent. So just kind of whatever updates and things you can get, because I know obviously that's probably the biggest story in town right now is that fire that hit out at the air cell down at the base in the airport this last night, yesterday here. And obviously because of the nature of some of the things that are in that building, they had to do some evacuations and stuff because they didn't, if that stuff cooks up, that's a problem for people.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that everyone's worried about was the chemicals that could possibly be in the building. They didn't know exactly what they had, but I'll tell you this: the fire departments, all the fire departments in the county responded to that, and they worked great together. I was listening to the communication on the radio. I did hear them say that we need to evacuate, half-mile radius. And then after a while, they came back and said, no, the wind's going to stay in the same direction that it is. There's no need to evacuate anybody. So they were on top of things. It was just in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The unknown is scary.
Sure.
So
yeah.
And for me as the sheriff, my main concern was once they declared it a hazmat fire, my concern was for the people who live on the base.
Sure.
And those who surround the base. So we made it very clear at that time through my post, and after hearing what the fire department said about starting to evacuate anybody within that half mile, we put it out there immediately.
Absolutely. You want to always err on the side of caution.
Yeah, err on the side of caution,
Yeah.
put that down. And then the city of Roswell contacted me and told me, no, we're not going to have anybody evacuate. We want them to shelter in place. And apparently that was the right decision to be made. So whatever decision is made, that's what we're going to go with. But the main thing at the very beginning is to make sure everybody is safe.
Absolutely.
Because you also have everyone in town trying to go see a big fire.
Oh yeah, then you got the rubberneckers,
Yep. So that's why
I
we
need
wanted
to be there. Where
Yeah.
I've got a family member that's 10 miles from there.
Yes.
And we get it all.
And-
And I get it because the public does.
Yeah.
We're always concerned, but and really that's sheriff's department and law enforcement. No, the firefighters are the ones that are fighting the fire. The sheriff's department's serving that role, keeping people away, answering, navigating when people have the questions and the, hey, I need to do this. No, you guys are kind of that front line of defense to keep the public safe away to let the firefighters do their job.
That's right.
It's like, now we're not in the fire. Unless you're the first one on the scene, then guess what? It's not uncommon for a sheriff's deputy to grab a fire hose or an extinguisher or something and start putting out a fire to the fire department.
Or run into the fire. We've had that happen. So and so the sheriff's department, the Roswell Police Department, the state police, everybody worked good together, keeping things blocked off. We did have the road departments, and everybody came out and put up barriers as well. So. Yeah, but we know that barriers don't keep anybody out, really. They just...
wait till it rains every time and all these roads flood and you see a barrel sitting there.
Yeah.
Don't go this way. First thing you do, some idiot stuck in the middle. So they drove right around the barrel thinking, I got a truck that'll get through here, and then it didn't.
So that's what we...
It's just
That's
another
what we
obstacle
see.
to go around.
Yeah.
Right. I think you guys, when you get like that, you probably spend a good chunk of your mornings just getting people out of standing water.
Yes,
half
you
the
do.
time.
Yeah.
And the tow trucks love it.
Right.
Yeah. But they
clean up on that.
Yeah.
Our big thing on that is that it's normally, and it's the craziest thing, people who live in the area. So they've had water crossing the road so many times they just think that we can do it again.
Sure.
And
it's Russian roulette, man.
Yeah,
just because you got away with it one time, don't mean you're gonna do it every time.
And because you got tires on your car, it becomes a boat very fast for a short distance.
Yeah,
and then it sinks or
you don't realize the power of standing water, especially if it starts moving.
Yep.
It's moving buildings. It's moving things. You and your little Hyundai Sonata ain't gonna make it sweat.
When it can tear up a concrete bridge with rebar. That's pretty crazy.
Exactly.
So
But getting to I haven't heard anything, but no casualty injuries, anything to report.
As far as I know, none.
The good.
So
I was like, I haven't heard anything, which is a good sign. But so that maybe we'll call our blessing in disguise. The fact that it happened at the time it happened, it was maybe a time where less people were in the building at the time, and so they were able to get out before it got too bad. And so that's our blessing in disguise. We never want to see something like this happen, but it may have been better to happen when it happened versus say 2 p.m. or something.
And I will tell you, for our community, we need Aircell and those other businesses out there to get back to business quickly, because they are a very big
the backbone
company.
of this of Chaves County, really.
So we really do wish them the best as well, getting all that going.
I imagine they I don't know their numbers, but they employ a good hunk of people.
Yes,
in
they do.
town. So
they do. So we
I would
want
say
them.
they're one of our major employers. When you look at companies in Chaves County, they're probably in the top 10 there.
That is right, and the aircraft companies depend on them. So
absolutely,
want that to happen quickly, and we just pray that all of it does.
But please, if you don't have business down there, don't go down there. Don't be down there to be the looky-loo. Let the fire department, let the first responders, because it's still an active scene. They're investigating.
Yeah.
They're doing they're trying to determine causes and all that. Now let them do that. Don't be over there rubbernecking and doing that.
Yeah.
Nothing good can come from that. At best, you walk away, you get in the way. At worst, you get hurt or someone else gets hurt.
And because the roadway system out there is very congested. It's just a couple ways into the base, and if people are out there parked or looking around or sitting in there, it congests a lot of places. So
absolutely.
But yeah, I think what I seen last night was the people could see the fire from a distance, so they stayed back.
It was a good visual as far as fires go, and it made it good for media and visual. It was a good head turner when you get online. Ooh, look at that!
Look at that! Yeah,
it was good.
And
for
right
that.
with the big tower.
You put the Roswell water tower.
Right in there.
It adds that local flavor to it. And everyone was probably seeing that. Oh my God! It was Gossip City.
Yeah. So it's once again it got to show. To me, and I believe to the community, that we have fire departments that know how to handle that kind of stuff, and so
our
did a
professionals
great job.
and our volunteers are all every one of those men and women. We are
did
greatly,
a great job,
and especially when you get out, you get out of Roswell into Dexter, Hagerman, you get some of the volunteer guys, and some of them they've been doing it 20. They're probably more experienced. I was going to say, they probably got more experience than probably folks in Dallas and some of these fire chiefs and stuff. It's like they've been literally doing this for half their lives. Mm-hmm. And it's like they know fire way more than someone that's just new to the ball game here.
James down there, James Salas, he knows that stuff, man.
It's kind of like that movie Backdraft, if y'all remember that in the 90s with Shadow and Robert De Niro. And he's like, well, I mean, it's literally these people like live that lifestyle. I could tell it. The fire went this way. It creeped over here. It's like, that's creepy. But I know it.
So we've seen some good stuff come out of this. Like I said, it's bad for that the fire happened, but we got to see our firemen do some good things. So and that's necessary sometimes, where you gotta everything you train on. Let's see how it comes together. And when something like this happens, a tragedy happens, that's whenever you actually get to see how. Well,
and this one, it's tragedy. We don't want to happen, but you know what? We can replace buildings. We can replace that stuff.
Right.
What we can't replace, we didn't lose, and that's what we're thankful about. So
but other than that, like I said, that was the big news.
The big scuttlebutt of the day.
The big news, but we've also been doing some other things, and I don't know if you know tomorrow, or if you're advertising tomorrow at the American Legion. They're doing their.
The Roswell Refuge is big domestic violence at 70s dance. It's for their fundraising event for the refuge and for the SANE program, which is those are the folks that help victims of sexual assault. Like if a person is sexually assaulted or raped, these are the folks that come in and first help them medically, making sure their needs are taken care of, and then if they wish to prosecute. They're the ones that collect evidence for law enforcement, for you guys to prosecute and do all that they need to do. They do some of the hardest but most appreciated work in probably the area right now is what they do. So they're asking people to come and put your bell bottoms and best 70s duds, your polyester suits. And it's
like from, I think it's 7 to 11 or something like that, maybe 6:30 to 11. But it's going on for a long time tomorrow night, so... that's one thing we'll have guys out there.
I think they have silent auction stuff. And so if you like sports memorabilia or stuff like that, please bid generously on that.
Go out there and support them.
Help our and I get a chance every once in a while to talk to some of the folks that do that. And I don't envy them. I'm so thankful for them. But there's no way in hell I want their job.
No,
I would. It's just too much to take. It's just like, man.
And that's all on an increase. Everything right now is being doubled. Pretty much all crimes against persons are just a doubling thing in our society today, where people just don't.
Well, the world we live in,
people
when you feel anxious or feel like, and that's just the world we live in. You tend to lash out.
Yes,
and,
you do.
and that's what you see a lot of here is
you do.
How many times? I mean, we live in this world now where somebody gets crossed in a store nowadays, it isn't just go about your day or screw you or walk
Yeah.
off. Now it's turned into a federal case because they're about ready to fight over a can of beans or something stupid, and you're just
crash a car into your car,
and that's
crash
where
their car into your car.
It's like everyone's stress levels are up here, and they're just flying off the handle for no reason. What do you mean you bent my paper clip?
That's right.
It's like we're at that point where it's like, all right, settle down, calm down. Yeah, it's not the end of the world because they slighted you by taking the beans first or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's just it. I'm going to gauge, and this is probably not even just COVID, but this is life in general. But anytime you guys are dealing with a domestic or a dispute between two people, whether it's a home dispute or two guys having it at a gas station, 99.99% of the time it's over something stupid like a food or he said this or something. It's something that it escalated way past where it needed to get to.
And it usually comes from a third person, so it's the gossip mill that causes a lot of people to become upset.
Yeah.
And they've taken it out of the person who's a part of the gossip is taken it out of context, and then they go and tell this person, and then it becomes a big mess.
Yeah.
And nobody fights. Now it's we're going to come to you. We'll come to you with guns. We'll come to you with knives.
Fighting is a punch to the face is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, we're past that now. We're going nuclear. We're it's like oh, you cut me off. I'm going to kill you and your family and the generations of the family. And you're like, whoa.
It escalates real fast.
That's the mindset of people nowadays. It's scary.
With the mental illness and things that we're seeing more and more because of drug use.
Yeah.
Really and truly, this is a drug-induced mental illness time that we're dealing with. And as they're going, we have seen people within 1 year just completely change. Actually, some of them less than a year.
Now, let me ask you: is it the cannabis stuff, or is it more your meth and
the meth,
that
fentanyl?
Gotcha. I mean, because I know when you say that, I'm like, well, we just started the thing. Are people putting that two to two together? I'm like, is that what you're seeing, or is it something more?
But you got to remember that if you're not getting your cannabis from an actual pharmacy,
it's a crapshoot what you're getting.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot because most people will lace everything with fentanyl.
Sure. And even still, just because the dispensaries are here and they're legal, you need to treat it just like alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't give it to minors. You don't buy it for minors. You don't smoke it or ingest it when you're about to drive or do anything like you would. It's the same rules apply to alcohol to marijuana that alcohol, and even more so.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that we have to really work on the DWI system because. For marijuana, just the odor on you, just your impairment, you're going to be guilty of driving while impaired.
Sure, and there are levels of that, and the courts are going to have to figure that one out one day because marijuana does you hit it one time, you're not going to be falling around stupid unless you've never done it before. Or something
I support medical marijuana 100%. I've seen it in my own family where it has helped people who are on their deathbed.
But just like anything else, it comes with the responsibilities, and like anything else can be misused and mistreated. And if you don't treat it as such, then you're going to have problems. Yeah. You're going to have problems with the law or worse.
And our biggest concern right now, I'll just tell you, is now that it has become legal, the accessibility to kids has become even more.
Well, and that's the dangerous and we've all seen the packaging and things when they sell the candies that are laced with it. Oh, yeah. It looks like products for children.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's the problem.
That's kids.
Yeah,
that's kids.
So I'm thinking at some point they're probably going to have to do something, and maybe that's going to happen when it eventually goes federally legal, and then Congress sits in and said you can't make marijuana products look like a child's candy or something, which is probably a good idea. Yeah. We don't want to market it to kids and things. We don't want to. If you're a grown person and you won't buy it because it looks,
and I think that was put forward in the last legislature session.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know if it was passed, but
no.
Well, I would completely agree with cracking down on that stuff. You have to be so stringent on allowing.
I agree with that.
Who gets access to it. I mean, and look, it's like alcohol. Look, you're a grown adult. If you want to have a beer at the end of the day, or if you want to have a joint at the end of the day, God bless you.
But also, alcohol is clearly labeled, and you can distinguish that is a beer can,
sure,
or whatever, unless you got it in a cup or something. But that way, if a kid sees that on the counter, they know that that's
adults, not for
stuff.
you. And,
right.
And
so that's where
I'm not
we're
going to
at.
tell people how to run their households, but maybe you shouldn't be leaving that kind of stuff just in plain sight anyway.
Well,
I
but
don't.
that's-
I mean, I
that's-
put beer in the fridge, but I don't leave it like in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think that's
I don't
where-
think I'd leave my joint sitting on the coffee table for all to enjoy.
When
you know?
when it became legal, when it was illegal, it was hid.
Right.
Now it became legal. Now you just come in and you just throw it
Just
around.
sitting on the
whatever
kitchen table,
whatever.
yeah,
it is.
whatever, yeah.
So that's the difference. And
but you can't,
You
especially
can't.
if you got.
And
I mean,
that- and that's
if it's only adults in the house or you live by yourself, then you do you. But if you have children, particularly, and even teenagers, because hello,
And that's the biggest thing that we're getting with our school resource officer is she's being told when she's making contact with these kids that are high is that they got it from a family member.
Sure. And because they obviously can't walk into a dispensary and do it. They're going to be rejected.
Yes.
They're getting it through a second party. It's either mom and dad bought it for them or their buddy, or they bought it from not a dispensary and bought it from a guy on the street. And that could be like, put it this way. I know, and I know enough to know that it's a problem. I don't know enough to know how big of a problem.
Yeah.
When you talk about the synthetic marijuanas and things like that, that's a
no
different
good.
animal
That's
altogether
bad stuff.
than plants that grow on the ground.
Absolutely.
And that stuff, they lace it with other stuff.
Yeah.
It's chemicals, and people are dying from it, thinking they're just getting something that's like marijuana.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a little behind the eight ball. There's probably even worse stuff than that going on now, but that's what we talk about, not getting it from the dispensary and stuff. You don't know.
Well, we've seen spice and things like that just damage people's brains.
And if one little bit of fentanyl gets in there, you could be dead.
Oh, you could be dead. Yeah.
Dead, and you don't get a chance to come back from that one.
No.
So it is too stupid to do that kind of stuff.
That's one of the things that right now for us as law enforcement, we're out there, we're dealing with it, and you chose to use your fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't choose to be exposed to it. And so for us, all of a sudden, you could be just out.
Yeah.
And if you don't have someone around who can administer to you your
the
Narcan.
Narcan.
That's it.
I
was trying to think of the name
my mind
of it.
was nasal. I was going to say
Tryptophan?
nasal.
No,
yeah.
that's a
yeah. I wanted to say nasal, but it wasn't. It was Narcan. So
I kept thinking tryptophan.
But the Narcan is very effective if someone's there to use it.
Absolutely.
And so they're the ones who have to administer it to you because, as you see, some people become paralyzed to the point where they can't move at all.
Oh yeah.
And so it is a dangerous, scary time.
But you're even getting in the world too, where, like you said, you have your people that knowingly have ingested the fentanyl,
Yes.
but some of these folks have just taken spice or
No, that's
cocaine
right.
or
They don't
heroin,
know.
thinking it's spice or cocaine or heroin, and they cut it with fentanyl. Next thing you know, now they're hooked on fentanyl or dead because of the fentanyl.
They're dead. Right. Yeah.
And
So
that's
exactly right.
that's why this is so deadly. This is why don't buy that crap on. I mean, the hard drugs you shouldn't do anyway. But if you choose to do the cannabis and you can't go in a dispensary, then you don't need to go. Wait till you're 18 and then go. Do not buy it off the street. Do not, because it's again getting. I've said for the second time, Russian roulette. If the first time you do it, you're fine. That's good for you.
Yep.
Second time, and eventually you're going to do this, and there's going to be the bullet in the chamber.
Yes.
And it's going to catch up to you.
Well, one thing he mentioned just a minute ago was our school resource officer. So today we should have our school resource officer truck out.
Nice.
Got the call this morning.
So it has the schools that we represent. Yes, and that's the
You guys
ones-
hit more of the ones that are out of the city limits.
Yeah,
generally,
out of the
as
country,
county.
not the county.
Yeah.
The country, right? Because the county is all the schools.
Yeah.
Even inside the city, county is everywhere. Country or outside the city limits is where we're at. So you'll see on the back of the trucks that we have, they have the decals or the mascots of the schools.
Cool.
And it looks really nice. And so we're, but let me tell you right now, Olivia Padilla, who is my school resource officer right now, I'm going to have another one here coming up before the school year starts. But I will tell you, man, she is doing a fantastic job.
To be honest, that could be some of the most important jobs in
really
law
is.
enforcement. Is that because it not only are you serving and protecting in the schools, but you're also setting the example for these kids to see a positive in law enforcement. If you have a good resource officer that gets with these kids, which I'm sure is what we're seeing here, when they graduate and things, they're going to be like, they're going to see law enforcement in a much better light because they've seen it in a more intimate setting.
And she's staying busy.
She is staying busy, and she really does interact with these kids. She's very passionate about this job
because they kind of, in essence, be friends a little bit. Because they're in the hallways, and 1 minute they're disciplining, but the next minute it's like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Don't do good in that test, or you know what I mean? They're part of the life of the kids.
So we posted her out at Brindle Elementary School doing that color run for their fundraiser, where they're using all the different paints and colors and stuff. And the other schools were calling, hey, when is she going to do that for us? So that's going to be that.
So she's in demand.
Yeah, she's in demand. Really,
and she helps with the schools that are inside the city too.
Yeah, she does. So, absolutely.
Yeah,
but your priority is the because RPD and stuff have resources in some of these schools. And ones outside in the country.
Yeah, and they work
it's the
together.
sheriff's department. That's what you got. So,
and so right now they work together. So we're everywhere, but there are schools inside the city limits that we have her. Go to, especially those that are around the outskirts.
Well, the more the merrier.
We
can never have enough law enforcement presence in our schools, especially now. And now
she's doing a fantastic job. And then Lieutenant Holy, who is over my training and also over the court security, he's also been going with her as well as some of the other deputies. Like right now, we have Goddard's going to have their career day, and then we just do Mesa. We've done. All the schools pretty much have one, and then I have another. One of my sergeants is out. He's going to be doing training at Leprino Job Corps and also at Youth Challenge for DWI stuff.
Hitting some of our major employers
and to hit on
organizations.
the DWI stuff. We're going to be conducting checkpoints and saturation patrols for the month of May. So
be on the lookout. Yeah, Memorial Day that weekend, and. Never drink and drive or text and drive or cannabis and drive. I don't know what that drug and drive. I don't know what they call that yet.
Yeah.
We'll work on the marketing.
So for prom dates, for graduation dates, we will be out in force on those days. We're going to actually be at.
We just had the every 15 minutes in Dexter here a couple of weeks ago,
that was very successful.
And I would love it to have a problem that when we do our every 15 minutes, we're having trouble finding families to speak.
Yes.
Because that means kids aren't dying.
Yep.
I would love to get to the point, it's like, we're going to do the accent, but you know what? We're short on guest speakers because we don't have as many tragedies now. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. So, and I hope the kids and people when they got involved, let that sink home.
Yeah.
The families that speak, the families you talk to, I think this year we had an offender this time and someone who was on the other side of the coin.
Actually.
And how that person's dealing with life after their mistake.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be on either side of this coin. And I hope the mistakes of these people, and now that they're kind enough to basically share their lesson to hopefully stop what happened to them or what they did for others, please let that sink in. And if you get caught at the DWI checkpoint and you're drunk, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
they just saved your life that night. Yeah, you're going to have some legal problems.
Well,
but you know what? You get to talk about it tomorrow, and other people do too because you didn't kill nobody.
The craziest comment that I get is, you're doing a checkpoint. Everybody knows where it is, so the drunk's going to go somewhere else.
You think that, right? Huh?
You think, yeah. But
y'all
I'm going to
crooks
tell
are
you,
stupid.
They come right to the point.
They're attracted to the light.
They're attracted
I mean,
to
how
the
many
light.
cases?
Yes,
how
that's
many?
right.
But even in the world of things, you see it all the time. The cops roll up and ask a question, and there's a dude laying on the ground. Is like, did you knock him out? No, I didn't knock him out.
Yeah.
He goes, well, how did he get his teeth like that? Well, when my fist hit him right here, but they said you didn't knock him out.
That's right.
They literally out themselves by doing it.
Well, and they do, and they come to the checkpoints. But more importantly, what we want people to know is that we are out there and we are doing what we can. And this is the best part for me, where the checkpoint is it's like the fly trap. That's where we're going to catch you if you drive in. But the best part is we have deputies out all around.
Seeing the U-turners
and the
trying
guys trying to go down the side roads.
And those are the ones that are saying,
yeah, that's the ones that you get.
You okay, bud? I saw you. Would you forget something? Would you leave your keys at home? What happened there?
Yeah, and the law is very clear. Once you enter that that area, you can't do that. So,
Absolutely.
But we have been very successful.
Well, and it's to remind because you know what? If even if they only pull one person off that night, that's one person that we don't have to worry about cleaning up off the road later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly
That's
right.
the part where we got, So, it does seem scripted and over the top, but I guarantee you, every single time you guys are pulling in a couple people that are impaired or intoxicated or doing something. And let's face it, it is also a tool to find other stuff.
Yes.
Because you come in and their insurance is not up to date. Oh, by the way, they got a warrant.
Yeah.
Now we just found a guy that's wanted for attempted murder, or we just found a guy that just raped a bunch of people over in one area, or doing something like that.
So people didn't hear a lot about DWIs during the COVID time because the bars and everything were closed, and the restaurants serving alcohol or whatever. So now, if everyone thinks that this has become a serious pandemic, where the reality is, this is something that has been going on, and it has just started back up. And now it seems as though, some of these other places that we are dealing with, the administration in the bars and things like that are being hit. State police is out there with their team, and they're citing for alcohol sales, cigarette sales,
underage, over-serving, stuff like that. Yeah.
All these different things.
To be honest, that's not a bad thing.
No, it is a good
because
thing.
at the end of the day, a bar, an establishment, the bartenders or the servers are responsible. That's part of their licensing and all that. That's what their training's about. Part of that is to determine if someone looks like they're not able to handle this drunk, or they're supposed to stop them.
They're supposed to stop.
And so when they go out and kill somebody and you didn't do your part, the onus is on the bar a little bit.
Right.
And that's
And
that's just being responsible. I know I get it. People, you're grown people, you make your decisions, but if you're knowingly doing that, that's
the businesses have learned that they will be sued, and
that's a good thing. For the scope of things, that's what needs to happen.
It is, but I believe that's helping with that. But what we do have is people still showing up to certain events, and they do all the drinking in the car.
Yeah, we call that pre-gaming.
Yes. That's right, yeah. So they do all the drinking in the car.
Yeah.
And then they go in, they'll have a couple drinks, they'll come back out, and they'll hit the hard stuff in the car again. And so we've been going around through the parking lots. We've been doing a lot of things. Another thing that we're doing, and Lieutenant Drake has been working on, is getting us license plate readers. So as we're going down the road, it reads how many license plates that read.
Oh, cool! I've seen some of that.
Depends on the traffic.
I've seen some of that technology, like on TV and things, where they used it.
It'll be mounted to our cars.
It's literally like you could put it on a road, and it just be eyeballs, and every vehicle with a license plate on that, it scans it and will flag ones that are stolen or warrants or any. If someone's looking for these people, it will let them know.
It will let them know.
Real
And
quick.
so we are in the process of getting that. And then the other thing that I am excited about is I'm getting the grapplers that come out of your front bumper and grab the tire of the car.
So if you do a police chase or something, and you can end it early, by shutting down the back wheel, and no wheels, no go. It's kind of hard. You ain't got no wheels, you can't roll.
We already know with these license plate readers that we're going to find a lot more.
That's a huge tool.
So your pursuits are going to increase.
I've seen different types of those. Is this the one that has like the net that kind of goes under the back wheels and then kind of gums up the rear axle?
Oh, yes.
Cool.
So,
okay.
And that net can be used up to 50 times.
Okay.
But
I didn't know how. That's what I was wondering. Like, once that thing, how do you untangle that bad boy? Is it a pain in the butt or what?
It's very simple. And one of the things,
and that's got to be more effective than even spike strips and things, because those, we see those in action. They're hit or miss. It's like if the officer nails it, then it works. But you got to play a game to get that.
Yeah, stop sticks are great.
This one seems a little.
Stop sticks are great, but the dangerous part about it is it's deadly to the officer setting it up.
And not to mention they see it coming, and I don't know how many times you watch Live PD or one of these shows, they throw it out and the guy's able to navigate around it.
Once they hit a spike strip, it slowly deflates the tire, and they're still able to drive.
Not to mention how many accidental pop-ins you had when you got the cop instead of the guy in front because it did slide out right.
And we've had that happen. We've had that happen numerous times. Well, who'd you get? Oh,
I got Lieutenant Drake.
So,
he's apprehended.
But with this grapplers, I'm going to have one or two, I don't know yet, per shift, and as they go, they're going to come out.
Can they mount on any police vehicle, or do they have to be like one of the trucks?
All the vehicles that we have, they can mount on them.
Okay, cool. I was like SUV. I imagine like a car, it might be a little too heavy.
It stops it right there.
It stops it.
Yeah, I've seen like the videos and stuff for doing it. I'm like, yeah, it's a cool
It
technology.
is really amazing. And so Albuquerque is looking at getting, I think they said 30 of them. State Police also looking at getting a couple. But we're going to be really in the state of New Mexico. We're really some of the first ones to get them, and we are ready to.
Excellent.
I am excited about it. I think it's going to be immediate results. But not only that, the word of mouth is going to go out. Do you really want to damage everything you got to try to get away from having a little bit of
and I imagine for law enforcement in our part of the country, they're much more neat. Like you get east or in a city.
Yep.
Yeah, there's more people, more everything. Yeah. But it's harder to have a high-speed chase when there's traffic everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Going through,
we're out here, you hit the highway, and they can hit 150 miles an hour, before.
Even going down Washington.
Yeah, so it's, you need these tools here where maybe even back where it's a more densely it's like, because you can't get up the speeds that way.
Yeah.
You can't, it's a little hard because of rush hour.
So one thing like we know is a high-speed chase is deadly, but a chase itself is deadly. Because it doesn't take much. We're watching a 30-mile-per-hour crash.
Sure.
Can kill people.
And that's why there's the debates in law enforcement. They still go back and forth on when to call off a thing. And now it seems like the standards now, as soon as it gets populated, kind of the rule of thumb is to shut her down, and we'll catch them later.
Yep,
but if it's out here on 285 and there's you and the guy, and then let's go hunt them down.
Yeah, if it's just you and the person who's running, that's we do that. But if they've got somebody in the car, or they've already
children, or
killed somebody or hurt somebody.
That's the thing. I mean, we saw this in Albuquerque this past week with the Amber Alert. She took off, rammed the state police unit with the kid in the car, and they
thank God that turned out okay for everybody involved.
Exactly.
But you're right.
So right now we've got some good things that are coming. We just got our firearms training system. This thing was like an 80,000. It was more than that. It was a lot more than that. But we got this firearms training system now that's like the goggles you put on, and we've been running our guys through that. And let me tell you what.
Is it kind of like Top Golf, but with firearms? Like the VR?
That's what it is. But let me tell you, the scenarios are so real.
Yeah.
And we watch, and Charles and myself.
Are they in charge?
So that's right. So Charles and myself, we're the ones who are running this. And let me tell you something. When you bring these guys in and you put them through this, it is so good to see that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That they handle things right, that they're doing a good job. And
it's all muscle memory. It's all second. When the action hits, your training, your muscle memory, your instincts, that's what kicks in. And so that training is it's establishing that.
And with the simulator, we're able to implement all the tools like Taser, OC, all that stuff.
Yeah, we might have to get you over there one day to try it out.
I love blowing things up.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll tell you. So and so that's one of the things to do. Bring people in, let them see this, let them go through a situation that we deal with, and see what they
how the shoes on the other foot. Walk a mile. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So I'm getting ready to get the county manager and some of the commissioners and all them in there to do that. But things are going very well, and we right now the Chavez County, actually, this part of New Mexico has always been great. But let me just tell you, the people stepping up to help with law enforcement is unbelievable.
We're an area that we back our blue, and we believe that
we're very blessed.
When we see a law enforcement officer standing on a street corner, that's a person we run to, not a person we go to complain to or run from.
Not trying to
that's
get
how
them
we
fired.
see it, and we understand that what every deputy, every state trooper, every Roswell Police Department officer does on a daily basis is for us. And so, if you do something wrong, they're going to catch you. They're going to. But at the end of the day, that's the thing too. Is it's still the professional treatment. I don't know. Every day, your deputies are out there and people are doing stuff and going on. But you know what? More often than not, you're doing more help than arresting and things. Yeah, okay, you're going to jail, but we're turning your life around.
That's right.
And how many times has that happened where there's been people that were homeless or your frequent flyers?
Yes.
And some of those folks, through your mentorship, basically, how many times have I got to see you? How many times I got to do this? How many times? That's what deputies do. They're mentors to these folks because they see them every week.
When we deal with somebody, it's usually in their darkest time. And they may hate us then, but I've had multiple times where people have came back a year from now. Hey, remember me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks to your wake-up call, I'm now here and celebrating my life with my family.
And that is really and truly, that is more often the type of thing that happens than somebody coming up upset at you. It doesn't happen. But one thing I also wanted to put out there, we are looking to get 2 more canines for the Chaves County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And I would like to ask the people of Chaves County and the surrounding areas if you're willing to assist us with that.
Yeah.
We
the funding for that is there's not a lot from the state and other sources. So a lot of the canine stuff's been privately funded through donations and things, and we're very blessed.
Absolutely.
But like you said, we want to add to the kennel here a little bit.
Yes, we do.
So we're asking the public to step up again so we can get, because it does cost quite a bit of money to get a trained canine unit paired with a deputy here and do all that.
It's $12,000 is what it costs for that. And what's crazy is the cage that you keep them inside your unit is $12,000.
You just can't go to Walmart and
buy one of those dog carriers. Yeah. So it is really a crazy thing. But
you get them for about $50-$80.
So we would like to ask, the community, if you're willing to donate to the Chaves County Sheriff's Office, you can do that. And if you just contact us, we'll tell you how to go about doing it. You can also do it through a nonprofit.
I know you have the Friends of Chaves County Sheriff.
So we're actually using another nonprofit to do that. And if you just contact me at 575-626-8915, that is my cell phone number.
You'll put them in touch with those folks. And
I'll put them in touch with those people, and we can get that going. And the sooner the better, because we do have things right now that are out there that are killing people. Fentanyl is at the top of the list.
Those
methamphetamine and everything else is still there.
Those canine units are a valuable.
They are. We are getting so much.
It was quite frankly, the years of hiatus, we had no canine units in Roswell. I was always scratching my head. Why do we not have canine units?
Yeah.
And of course, the thing was, it's too expensive to the insurance. And now that we're starting to see they're back in, we're really saying no. The juice is so much worth the squeeze here. We need these units, these canine officers to help us out.
And my 2 that we have right now doing a fantastic job. The city has 1 canine officer, I believe, right now, and he's working with us, and he helps out with my guys all the time, and they help him. But we use them at the jails. We use them everywhere. So it is a necessary tool for us, and right now we will pay for the service and everything. The local veterinarian here in town, he actually does all the medical care, all the shots, everything for them. We have people who give them baths, so
they're well maintained.
They are well maintained, look very good, and well fed. So we make sure that they're taken care of. So your investment into this is very important, but we take them very serious, and they're part of a team.
Absolutely.
And so we need that.
So please support. That's a great
Absolutely.
way. And trust me, you'll be very thankful if there's ever a situation where one of those dogs might save your bacon.
Absolutely.
Or help you navigate whatever problems you're having.
Yep, that's right.
All of a sudden, you're like, we need about 10 more of these bad boys.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
awesome.
they're really good.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I'm sure you got a few fires, pardon the pun, to stomp out here a little bit, right?
We don't want no more of those. But like I said, I want to end this with, it is just so good to see how all the agencies work together in such a crazy event that you just never would expect. One thing that we know is that here in Roswell, we've had houses burned down. We've had some other things, but nothing to this extent. And how many agencies it took to do this was impressive on how they all came together as a team. So
absolutely,
it was a good.
Well,
thing.
this is why the training. This is why it all kicks in for nights like last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we saw
we
the
pray
best
we don't
in our
have any
area
more.
do
Yep.
exactly what they do, and that is so awesome.
And
So,
we don't
yeah.
want to see another one.
No,
So that's
no.
it. So we're good.
But
with
they'll
that.
be ready if there is.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. Absolutely. So
well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you guys do. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Yes, you will.
All right.
Perfect. Thank
Get some
you.
get some drunk drivers on
We're
that
gonna
big
go
net
knock-
this week. This
We're gonna
month.
knock
here.
them out. That's what we'll do. But yeah, we thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. 9:01. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. News in progress.
U.S. media had been reporting that TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, was exploring options to sell the app without the algorithm that powers it. In response, ByteDance said, foreign media reports of ByteDance selling TikTok are not true. This makes ban of the short video app in the U.S. all but likely.
And that BBC's Hiranjaya Tawari, it's estimated TikTok has close to 150 million users in the U.S. A closely watched inflation barometer rose more than expected year over year last month. Personal consumption expenditures index up 2.7% last month from 1 year ago. And on Wall Street, stocks are higher. The Dow up 121 points. The Nasdaq ahead 337 points. One of these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Phase 2 of India's parliamentary elections underway, with observers closely watching the southwestern coastal state of Kerala, one of the country's most highly developed regions.
89 constituencies across some 13 states will go to the polls in the second phase. All eyes are on the southern state of Kerala, where all 20 seats will vote. It's the only province ruled by the left parties and a part of the country in which the ruling BJP has so far been unable to make inroads. Both the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress have raised allegations against each other of causing division on the basis of religion, language, and region.
The BBC's Nicola Illinder says close to 1 billion people are eligible to vote in the Indian elections. The French ambassador to Manila says her country and the Philippines will start talks next month on a proposed defense pact that would allow troops from each country to hold exercises in the other's territory. News and analysis, townhall.com. Tennessee lawmakers vote to rein in transgenderism.
Tennessee has given its final approval on legislation criminalizing adults who help minors receive transgender treatments without parental consent. Thursday's action clears the way for the first-in-the-nation proposal to be sent to Governor Bill Lee's desk for his signature. The bill mirrors almost the same language from an anti-abortion trafficking proposal Tennessee Republican lawmakers approved just a day prior. In that version, supporters are hoping to stop adults from helping young people obtain abortions without permission from their parents or guardians. Keith Peters reporting.
America's poultry producers will have to reduce salmonella bacteria in certain chicken products to very low levels to prevent food poisoning. That's according to a new Department of Agriculture rule. Salmonella poisoning is estimated to affect in excess of 1.3 million people each year in the U.S. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning. Sorry about that. We were learning things. So, good morning, one and all. Welcome to hour number 3. I don't think anybody's here to do Trace Inviernos, so I will do Trace Inviernos this morning. Oh. Jocelyn's got Trace Inviernos. There you go. Thank you, Jocelyn. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody. Sheriff Mike Harrington was actually, we were talking during our interview last hour. He was talking about this, the tool they've got for training the officers in like scenarios to shoot and all that. It's all VR stuff. And so it puts the deputies in these real world scenarios of say a guy in a car that's, not wanting to get out, how to deal, with the various incidences that they come across on a daily basis, and giving them more training and all that, and when to draw the guns, and when to fire, when not. And it's really, but anyway, he was showing me some of a video of some of the deputies kind of going through some of that training here locally, showing them how it works and all that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, they're very much. It's literally them doing their job, but the only difference is no one's going to actually die at the end of the day. It's just it was cool, that video show. But that's what we were doing, so that's why we were delayed there. Happy Friday. Welcome to it. Hope you're having a beautiful Friday thus far. Of course, if you missed any part of our interview with Sheriff Mike Harrington, I invite you to check that out at your leisure. We do spend the first few minutes of that interview talking about the explosion and fire out down by the base there yesterday. Talked about some of the details of that, what's going on next to their latest. They're still determining a cause, obviously, here as we're fresh out of that. But looks like no casualties, no injuries of note to report. So all of that good news. So at the end of the day, a little bit of a blessing, I think. No one was hurt, anything like that. Just buildings and things which can be replaced. So a blessing in disguise a little bit there. In fact, that happened like about 7 in the evening, which now Aircell does have shift work. They work 24/7. So people were there, but I guess there wasn't a lot, and they were able to get out from everything I'm hearing. So all good. But if you want to catch the update and all that, I invite you to go back and check out the sheriff's interview, which you can go to ksvptv.com and check that out there with the sheriff and Lieutenant Drake there. Also, and then we had the Richland guys in the 7 o'clock hour talking about some of the stuff they got going on over at the GM store and at the Dodge store too. So check that out, ksvptv.com. This hour, we're going to replay an interview. Earlier in the week, excuse me, we had joining us in studio artist Greg Birch. He's I'm going to say our resident artist. He comes in, he donates paintings to Given Paintings, but he comes and he does a lot of painting work for different museums and entities, not only around the state, but around the country. Kind of a historical painter, but he does a little bit of everything. But anyway, Greg popped in and joined us earlier this week, along on the phone with New Mexico author Cindy Sloan Butts. She's got a new book and this one's a murder mystery that's kind of taking place in Alamogordo. She's got the Roswell one. She's got about 8 different books, I think. And they're all like New Mexico mysteries, fiction, but historical, like the locations, the places, the all that stuff is true to New Mexico, true to what it is. The fictional part is the characters and their stories and the world in which they do that. But really great stories. But anyway, so they joined us early in the week to talk about her newest book at Alamogordo. Of course, Greg is the artist for many of her books. That's the artwork and the cover art and all that stuff. Greg is the person who did all that. So we had them both in talking Greg's artwork and some of the things he's been doing, but also talking with Cindy about her latest book. And we touched a little on her Roswell book as well and some of her other books too. But we're going to play that conversation here for you in just a few minutes. So I figure we'll wrap up our Friday with a fun interview here, talk a little entertainment. What else was I going to say? There was something else I was going to mention. Oh, yes, the carnival. Don't forget the Moore's Greater Show Carnival is now underway out at the Moms Loving Hope Big Carnival Week that's happening at the Wool Bowl. It got underway officially yesterday. It will be happening every day through May the 5th out at the Wool Bowl. Tonight, during the weekdays, Monday through Thursday, they open at 6 p.m. each night and for 10 p.m. for the carnival. Fridays, they'll be open at 6 and will remain open till 11 p.m. Saturdays, they will open the carnival at 1 in the afternoon and remain open until 11 p.m. that night. And Sundays, they will be open 4 p.m. and then remaining open till 10 that night. So it'll be through May 5th, every day through May 5th, starting yesterday. Ride armbands, like if you go out tonight, you can get unlimited ride armband for $35. During the weekdays, Monday through Thursday, unlimited ride armbands are $30. Now on Tuesday of next week, the carnival will open at 6 like normal, but then it's going to be 2 for Tuesday. So if you buy one armband, you'll get one armband for free. Now, if you want to ride rides, but you're like, I don't need an unlimited ride armband, I just want to ride 1 or 2 rides, no biggie. Tickets are $2 each when purchased individually. You can purchase a sheet of 20 of them for $1.50 a piece, saving you $10. If you ride the rides, children's tickets are 3 tickets for a children's ride. Adult rides require 4 tickets, and if you ride some of the thrill rides like the El Loco, there are 5 tickets there. But yeah, they got all the rides: your merry-go-rounds, your motorcycles, teacups, the puppy ride, plus your bigger ones like the Venetian Swing, the Nemesis, your Ferris wheel, Tilt-A-Whirl, your El Loco, and Top Gun as well too. So lots of rides. Plus, Moms Loving Hope is having their big carnival out there as part of this event. There'll be tons of food trucks, live music, resources too. Moms Loving Hope is a nonprofit organization that they're grassroots that they actually had their first carnival a year ago, and it's just an organization started. Moms Loving Hope. It's like the idea is moms kind of taking care of the family. That's kind of the inspiration for the organization, and they really just help families in need. Finding them resources, whatever it could be. If you need in touch with medical, if you need touch with financial, if you need touch with some kind of social work or whatever. you need, they help families navigate through that stuff, and they can't help them directly. They get them in touch with the people to do. So the week-long carnival event, week-plus-long carnival event is a fundraising event for Moms Loving Hope. So if you want to come out there, they're also going to have nonprofits that'll have booths and tents set up if you want to learn more about their resources or their services or anything like that. That's also a part of this week out there. But if you're like, look, I just want to come and ride some rides and eat some food on a stick and enjoy some music, come on out and do all that. It'll be lots of fun. And Moore's Carnival is on the rides for you. But come on out. They'll open at 6 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow they'll open at 1 p.m. and then on Sunday at 4 p.m. All right, it is 9:16. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. We're seeing an easing up of the wind as we're heading through the early morning time. Overnight low dropping area-wide into the low 50s. Now, plenty of sunshine coming our way for Friday. The winds are picking back up from the west. Could see some gusts closer to about 35 miles per hour. Some elevated fire weather concerns returning too. And our highs on Friday from the low to mid-80s. Stronger winds Saturday and highs are from the upper 70s to near 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is, sorry, I got hiccups. Always does that right around the weather time. I do it, I don't know why. No other time. It's probably me. Humidity is at 23%. Winds currently out of the west at 10 miles per hour. For today, sunny skies, 85, the expected high. Winds will be out of the southwest, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So breezy, but we've had worse. For tonight, we're looking at mostly clear skies. Expect an overnight low of 52 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Expect those winds to drop 10 to 15 miles per hour after midnight tonight. For you Saturday, they have issued a fire weather watch for tomorrow that will kick in at noon and remain in effect through 8 p.m. I'm going to guess usually when they issue these by later in that afternoon today, they usually upgrade these to to red flag warnings. So I anticipate that's what will happen. But as of this point, it's a fire weather watch. For tomorrow, patchy blowing dust for the afternoon. Skies will be sunny. Cooler, 78 are expected high tomorrow. But the winds will be blowing out of the southwest early, 10 to 20 miles per hour. As the day progresses, those winds will increase 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 48 degrees. Winds out of the west, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Once again, expect those winds to drop down 10 to 20 after midnight. Sunday, sunny and 82. West winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 51, and then mostly sunny and 87 when you head back to work and school on Monday. They're talking maybe some rain chances Tuesday night, Wednesday into Thursday maybe. We'll see how that shapes up. But you know how it goes with rain around here. All right, it is 9:18. We're going to take a commercial break. I would say a quick one, but it's in scopes of it relatively quick. And then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with Greg Birch and Cindy Sloan Butts, talking about their artwork and books and all that. It's a fun interview. You'll enjoy it. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This is Candy Spency Zell. I've been involved in agriculture my whole life. I own our cattle ranch with my husband, and I still own family farms with my brothers down by Artesia. My dad was a farmer. His dad was a farmer. Agriculture and livestock is in my blood, and that's who I am. I have a lifetime's worth of experience and knowledge on the issues facing farmers and ranchers in New Mexico. I'm running for the state Senate because I want to fight for our rights and our needs. I will protect our water in New Mexico, and especially here in the Southeast. I will make sure that water rights from our basins are not bought up by developers and pumped to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. As your senator, I will protect our water. I'm Candy Spency Zell, asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spency Zell for State Senate, District 32. Something big is coming to Roswell Honda. It's Gas Cash Mania at Roswell Honda. During this enormous event, hundreds of vehicles will be liquidated to the public at rock-bottom prices, like a 2019 Ford Fusion, just $189 a month, or a 2011 Honda Element, just $139 a month. Get a 12-pack and a shot at the cash grab just for stopping by, and a mini grill with a test drive. Then join Roswell Honda Saturday for free food, Jolly Jumps for the kids, and your chance to win a new smoker and a $100 Visa gift card. Gas Cash Mania. On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Check out some of the Dollar Days bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select bottles of Food Club barbecue sauce are $1 each, and select varieties of Kellogg's breakfast cereals are 2 for $10. In produce, snack-sized mangoes are 2 for $1, and large cantaloupe are $2 each. In the meat department, family packs of choice boneless beef arm roast are $4 a pound, and family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are just $1 a pound. These are some of the Dollar Days savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
At UNM, Lobos are building the future every day. Together, we're reimagining water sustainability, engineering the future of healthcare, pushing for progress, and inspiring a generation of minds. Ignite your future at apply.unm.edu.
Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Nybert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Nybert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Nybert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
It's time for another great weekend of junior college baseball at NMMI in Roswell. This weekend, the Broncos host the Amarillo College Badgers in a 4-game series. Games are at noon and 3 Friday and Saturday. The Broncos are looking to get back into the Region 5 playoffs for the second year in a row, a first ever back-to-back appearance for NMMI. Come out and spend the day at the ballpark and enjoy Bronco baseball Friday and Saturday versus Amarillo College.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, we have artist Greg Birch back with us. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Welcome back. Glad to have you back in studio here. He's always fun when we have Greg on here. And also joining us on the phone this morning is author Cindy Sloan Butts, which we've talked about several of her books before, including her one here on Roswell. Well, today we've got a new one here for you Alamogordo fans here. So if you love mysteries and things that are New Mexico-centric, then you probably want to pay attention for the next few minutes here. But good morning, Sydney. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome, and thank you for spending time with us this morning. We do appreciate it. I know 7 in the morning is kind of early for some people sometimes, so I do appreciate it.
Well, it works for me. I'm looking out my window at the hummingbirds that are attracted to our feeder, and the sun is shining and life is good.
Excellent. Well, and mornings in New Mexico are probably the best time sometimes before it gets too hot and too deserty.
Boy, that's for sure. Especially down in Roswell, right?
Yeah. We don't we got a lot of beauty, but we got to drive to get to it. It's not here in town. You have to go. You have to either go in the mountains or go out to Bitter Lake or Bottomless Lake or something.
Yeah, Cindy lives up in Albuquerque.
Okay, so yeah, you've got you got a little bit of everything up there too. So you got...
Not exactly. I live in Rio Rancho, which is a little bit more, a little bit less urban, and a little bit less traffic than Albuquerque.
It's actually, I have family that's lived there. They don't at the moment, but they lived there. Now they live back in Albuquerque. But yeah, they lived up in Rio Rancho, and yeah, there's some beautiful views out there. You get out in the mountains and it's just, yeah, good places to have a cup of coffee in the morning. Sometimes is some of those backyards out there. So yeah,
which is exactly what I'm doing, looking out at the mountains.
Well, good. Well, we won't try to mess up your perfect morning too much here with our
No, this is a pleasure for me.
So, of course, we talked about, I think last time, the Roadrunners and Runaways of Roswell, which was a book that, again, you and Greg collaborated with you on the artwork and everything here.
Yes.
Let's, for folks that are interested in a Roswell story, remind them a little bit about your Roadrunners book and kind of give them a little synopsis about this book real quick before we get into the Albatross here.
Okay, it occurred to me along the way after having published some other books in an entirely different context, and by that I mean my first book was an autobiography, and then the next 4 were historical fiction about World War II and the Holocaust. I decided I wanted to change some direction and started off with my book about Belen. And so now that I live in New Mexico, I figure, why shouldn't I do mysteries about New Mexico? So after I did Belen, Roswell was a perfect choice due to Roswell's history. And
we are a lightning rod for those mysteries, that's for sure.
Boy, that's for sure. But I promise you, there are no aliens in my book. Not one.
Very good.
Not one.
Good. But yeah, we talked a little bit about it. And if you love those good whodunit, those kind of, and I always love reading books about like your local area and things like that. Like, I grew up in Maryland, D.C. area, so I always gravitated to stories that took place there. They always seemed a little bit, especially when they're talking about landmarks and things that you either pass every day or recognize or grew up around. And so that's why I love these books too, because then you start talking about references here in New Mexico, and readers can be like, oh yeah, I grew up or knew this, and it invests you that much in the story because you're relating to it so much more. So that's what I love. So if you love a good mystery that you're going to relate to even more, because you might recognize some of the places and things that are taking place in the book, I highly recommend you check it out.
Exactly. That was the whole idea. In fact, I have a co-worker who is from Belen, and she was reading the first book out loud to her husband, and the conversation was punctuated with, oh, I know where that is. Oh, I've been there. Oh, I know that place. So that, that makes me happy that my historical research was ample to enable readers to be able to relate to it on a factual basis, as well as the whodunit part, who killed whom and why and so on.
So that kind of that spawns a question, because when you talk about like Hollywood and movies and TV and things, sometimes geographical details get thrown by the wayside because it might detract from the story a little bit. Do you have that problem with these? Like you're thinking, okay, the history, but the story would be so much better. I mean, have you had issues where you had to deal with, do I want to keep the geography right, even though it might sacrifice the story a little bit? I mean, did you ever run into those conundrums?
I won't do it.
Okay.
I won't do it. For my background in historical fiction, 4 books in historical fiction, where I created some World War II characters, but all the history in my books is accurate and complete, then I'm grounded in, let's call it, respecting history.
Love that. Yeah, I love that. And again, some of my favorite reads are those books that follow the history accurately, even though we're talking about a fictional story set in that time period.
Well, a person.
Yeah, or a fictional person set in that time period. Yeah, I do.
Exactly
I love that kind of thing. So, again, because the people that are fans of it are going to be mad at you when you get it wrong, and you're going to hear about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I lost you because I spelled Belen without the accent on the final E.
Yeah.
And I was very careful about that, having discovered recently that Belen is Spanish for Bethlehem. So how could I botch that, right?
Yeah, that's so. So I would imagine as an author, I'm kind of curious. Does the story come to your head first, and then you try to find or is there a historical period or historical thing you're saying, I want to focus a story around this? Like, kind of, which comes first, the chicken or the egg here on like when you're creating a story? Is it the location that inspires the story, or does the story inspire a location to set it in?
Well, it's magic.
Okay.
and here's why. First of all, I have to address the nod to Greg, who is such an incredible, talented illustrator. And I've said before, he gives image to my words, which helps enormously in terms of recognition.
Well,
and such.
And think about it. When we all look, I mean, if you know what book you're looking for it. But when you just go into a library or a bookstore and you're not sure what you want to read, guess what draws you every time? It's the picture.
Cover.
Yeah, the picture.
The
You're
cover.
like, ooh, that looks salacious. I want to see that. Or ooh, that looks awesome. So Greg is their first introduction to you is Greg's interpretation of your book. So I imagine that's a very important relationship you two have to have there. So
it's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. I did the covers of the first 3 books that I did on my own, and they fall way short of Greg's art. And I'll never do that again, by God.
Well,
but in answer to your previous question, for the purposes of continuity, being an author, I have to pay attention to continuity, right?
This is true.
The answer is magic, and I'm not being flippant or anything else when I say that, but typically I will come up with a geographic location, as I did Belen and Roswell and Alamogordo.
Okay.
And I will seize some facts about those areas.
Okay.
For instance, you can't talk about Alamogordo without talking about White Sands, can you?
No, it'd be really hard. I mean, you're like, because everywhere you look, they're like, why is these big white mountains in the background out here?
Right. And Oppenheimer did me a great favor by giving me access to Trinity and all the other geography associated with Alamogordo. So that's where I started. I said, all right, we're going to have a murder mystery about Alamogordo. But one of the things for which I'm eternally grateful as an author is that I'll sit down in my office here and look at the birds and the mountains and so on, and words just happen. The plot just unfolds, and I get to create the story behind the history that I've identified.
Well, when you were talking about the cover art and everything, and by the way, the book, the latest book, the one where that Cindy has it's called The Albatross, The Antichrist, and Alamogordo. For those watching the video, you
Anarchist.
Can see. Oh, I'm sorry, the Anarchist. Sorry, I was reading fast and trying to do it. Anarchist.
I don't want to
Alamogordo.
upset anybody.
Sorry, I was reading quick and I saw but there's the cover art, and I'm telling you, when I see this, it evokes Alfred Hitchcock to me. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if Greg, that was an intent to have a little Hitchcock, but when I see it, I feel a little Hitchcock there when I look at this. I feel.
Well, I wanted a retro font,
or even Agatha Christie Hitchcock. Yeah. That's the images I think of when I see this. So if you love a good mystery in that vein, boom, boom, boom.
In my dreams. My dreams.
But
wow.
that when I see the cover of it, those are the images I evoke. It's that Agatha Christie, Alfred Hitchcock, that era of mystery.
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Sherlock.
Yes. But just like
wow, what a compliment! Thank you. And then of course that one goes to Greg again because he created it.
Absolutely, but
I just gave him the words to do it.
But but you're right. I'm like, because I see that, I'm like, I want to know what's going on. I want to open it up and look at the right. So it's amazing, Greg. Cindy, the stories are awesome, and Greg, you guys are you gotta have a little peanut butter chocolate, good to go together, like peanut butter and chocolate kind of thing, where it seems like you guys kind of work.
She creates the words and I create the art.
Yeah. So how many books have you guys partnered on?
5.
5 of them all together.
No, 4.
Yep.
4.
4 of them. Okay.
She's fixing to do another one.
4.
Okay.
4.
So,
and I did the other 3 covers myself, and they fall way short.
Well, that's how we learn and grow. You do things, and then you say, you know what, maybe, I'll stick to the writing and let someone else, work on the art side.
Absolutely. I'll never make that mistake again, I hope. As long as I continue to have Greg available. So,
and I'm going to venture.
I'm working on another book as we speak, so I haven't given Greg the title yet, but he knows vaguely what we're working on, don't you, Greg?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Well, so how much time do you get to percolate and get inspired on whatever you're going to do? Does she kind of give you the thing and say, this is what I'm doing, and then you percolate, or I mean,
this is pretty weird,
okay.
and most people they're not going to believe it. I mean, she is 100% right. I mean, whenever she comes up with something, she'll give me a little bit of a synopsis, and she won't even tell me a direction or nothing.
Okay,
and usually I can whip them out to her, before she has the book completed.
Okay. So now let me ask you this, Cindy. When you kind of give him some of that, and then he does his thing and then brings it back to you, how often are you you look and say that was exactly, or I would have never took it there? Or what's been your first impression?
100%. Only 100%.
Yeah. Because I imagine, because you're thinking, because for you, that's got to be, you're basically allowing someone else to create your vision based on a few words, you know what I mean? And that can be very scary, but also very intriguing. It's like, because part of it, you're like, yes, that's it. And then you're but part of you're just saying, well, am I doing a good job of evoking what I want to do? And so Greg's kind of oh yeah, he nailed it. Or, you know what I need to do, you know what I mean? So I imagine it's as much as a sounding board for you. It's like, did I get it right? The story I'm trying to tell. And using Greg as that sounding board a little bit there, just through his art.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. And he's always right on target. I don't think we've made any substantial changes to any of the covers other than some of the cosmetic stuff of changing the font or changing the color or whatever.
Sure,
it may
minute
be.
details. Yeah.
Yeah, but conceptually, Greg is always dead on.
And of course, I'm starting to see enough of Greg's work where I'm spotting and I'm like, that's a Greg, And so I'm getting to the point where I start looking at covers like, oh, that, and I'll be sometimes just floating online or something, and I'll be seeing pictures, and I'll stop and not even see names or nothing. I just see the picture. Oh, that's a Greg Birch.
Keep going.
Yep.
Right on.
And I have one of them on the wall in my home. So I'm probably the best advertisement of all. Right?
Yeah, she's got one of my paintings. That's how we first met.
That's how that's how the relationship started. She saw one of your paintings and bought a painting, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
So you never know what things happen in life that could create the biggest relationship or the big thing that just turns the page into something that just turns your life into a completely different direction for the better.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, but
absolutely,
the newest book from Cindy, The Albatross, The Anarchist. I'll get it right the second time. Alamogordo. Well, I saw the big anarchy symbol. That should have been a clue next to it. But I was reading fast and trying to show it at the same time, so it just kind of came out the wrong way.
It's not a test.
But the book is available now. Amazon, they have it. Is there other places we recommend folks to find a copy of this, or just go through Amazon?
Well, I have a local bookstore with which I do a lot of business here in downtown, in Old Town Albuquerque.
Okay.
Treasure House Books. Has all of my books, and I've done several book signings there, and I'm about to do another one in June. So they have them if people are walking around Old Town. But Amazon has all 8 of my books.
Excellent. So you can get them online, so you can order them in the convenience of your underwear. But if you're down in Old Town, pop into the bookstore for a visit and grab yourself a copy of this and maybe some other books, and maybe some other great local authors that you'll find in there too.
Exactly.
Well, and the advantage of buying it locally, buying it from a bookstore, is that they're all signed copies.
That's true. There is an advantage.
And all autographed copies.
And when you read the stories and you want to talk to the about author, and you say, "Man, I've read the story. What were you thinking here?" Then you just pop in for a visit, and she'll, as long as you're not busy, she'll have a conversation about her story.
Exactly.
One of the nicest ladies.
Yeah, if you're there for a signing or there, pop in. But excellent. But again, Cindy Sloan Butts, go on Amazon. You can find this and her other 7 books that are available as well.
Yep.
So before we let Greg talk about his some of his artwork stuff he's got coming up, do you want to tease this new book at all? Any kind of tease or any kind of nugget to tend us over till the next time?
Sure. I will always have more to say about the Holocaust, because the statistics surrounding people denying the Holocaust or teenagers, something like 70% of them disagree that it ever happened.
And that's crazy.
As long as that continues to be the case, and I still have stories to tell about the Holocaust, I will continue to do so. And then I'm going to go back to my mysteries. But the new one is going to be about the Holocaust in the Netherlands.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is not often covered. The other books took place in Poland.
Yeah, that's mostly
Austria,
Eastern Europe when they think
Hungary.
of that stuff. Absolutely not Western.
Right. But nobody thinks about the Netherlands, and I'm going to fix that.
The Germans occupied a lot of Europe before we started beating them back.
Yep.
Boy, that's for sure. That's for sure. And they defeated the Netherlands in 3 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we always talk about France falling quick, but the Netherlands was just as quick. So you're absolutely. So that'll be some interesting stuff. And by the way, anybody that denies Holocaust, spend an hour in the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., and your mind will change. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
For all those people that talk and think like that, spend an hour in there, and you come tell me it was fake after that. And then,
hello.
Yeah.
Or spend 10 minutes with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Because I did get to experience that a couple times. Like I said, I grew up there, and to me, that was the most haunting, I mean, it's an excellent museum, but I've never been depressed coming out of a museum like I was coming out of the Holocaust.
I know, it just tears you up. And like she said, these kids, they're falling in suit.
Yeah.
Just, taken for what people's telling them. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's got to stop.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is
That's my job.
Excellent.
That's what I do.
Well, that's how we do it. People don't realize that the world of books, this is how we we got more technical ways to maybe access books, but it's all about the books. So.
That's right.
and let's not forget that bookstores are a vital part of our history and our economy. And I shudder to think that the bookstore industry will go away just because of Amazon and just because of all the online access that we've developed. So please visit your local bookstores.
Absolutely. Well, I think even just the preserving of the knowledge of humanity, we're going this digital, but they're finding problems in digital. Yep. And they're finding things, and it'll never take away the written form, the actual written in your hand form. I don't think we'll ever replace it totally. We can't.
You can't attach a virus to any one of my books.
Exactly. Or you can't alter a book like you can an internet thing and change history.
Exactly.
Without my killing you. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. Speaking of the art, and now that you can alter a little bit. If you got Greg's level of art, you can fix a boo-boo on a painting.
I leave that to Greg, because anything that I do that's art is going to be bad anyway.
I have zero. I can appreciate, and I did make one painting once that, thanks to an artist that made me look good, but oh boy, howdy, that was a lot of work to get that one done. So, but
I'll stick with my keyboard. Thank you very much.
Of course, Greg, for folks just tuning in or just coming in or not familiar, Greg's been with us for several years. He does most of the art that is donning our studio, except for that flag there, is done by Greg Birch here, and stuff he does. Yeah, he's given me paintings and just does And of course, you have paintings in museums across the country.
Yes, sir.
And we got some more updates here. Some more paintings are going to get new homes here in New Mexico too. So ones you don't have to travel that far to see.
Nope. Here's this one.
Okay.
Coming this Thursday.
Oh, cool.
This one right here will be in. Wow. Okay.
Oh, what a try to get all that into the picture.
Somewhere in there.
I feel like I need to duck.
I know, right? Okay. Right there.
Oh, wow.
This one will be up in Fort Sumner at the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. And which building is that one in Fort Sumner? Is that?
Well, you go out there to where the Bosque Redondo is.
Okay.
Out there. From the Indian March.
Okay. And I got to confess.
Huh?
Oh, he went full screen, so it'll be a little easier to see there. There we go for our video folks. So sorry, we're navigating video on a radio show, so that's what happens there.
Yeah, my dyslexia is kind of kicking in.
We do that. We do that, Cindy. That's how happens to our show sometimes. We try to show things on the video.
It sounds like a fight.
But
there it is.
This one here, historians alike, I mean, they're going absolutely crazy over that thing because I painted the 2-story Pete Maxwell house.
Okay.
And it's up there at the Chamber of Commerce because they took over in front of the burial site where they buried Billy the Kid.
Okay.
And so that Chamber of Commerce is right there in that metal building now.
Okay.
And so if you go in there, they've got the original 2-story that I had painted and donated to them. Now this one will sit right beside it, which is the sister painting to this one.
Okay.
Historians alike, during Billy the Kid's time, you're actually seeing the 1-story, which we all agree would have been in Billy's time.
Gotcha. So this is the
2-story.
In the time of Billy the Kid, when Billy was there and allegedly got killed, or depending on which story you believe.
Well, he did.
I would say he did. I was making a Bushy Bill joke. So,
yeah. My bad.
But yeah, and so if you were there when in the time of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, and when all that went down, more than likely this is what that house would look like during that time period.
Yeah.
Due to all the archaeological and historical stuff that's in the archives and things like that. And
around 1885, somewhere in there is where we believe that the 2-story, where Pete actually finished off and took it on up to the 2-story house that you would have seen.
Sure. Well,
the flood actually took the home away. It flooded there twice. The Pecos River.
So is there a foundation or anything or any kind, or is it
No, it's just all overgrown. There's a grave marker now that says this is where Billy got killed.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the home itself is gone.
Okay.
To history.
See, and that's my bucket. One of these weeks I'm going to go up into Fort Sumner. I've been all through Lincoln 100 times, I think, but I've just never made a trip up to Fort Sumner.
You need to.
I know I need to.
The last time that I was there, whenever I donated that 2-story, there was an old rancher out there wanted to remain silent for certain reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to get caught up in the game. Some people don't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But he took me up there on the side of the hill. And if you get up there, which the guy ain't don't let you on his property. But anyway, he took me up there and man, the overview that I got to see, and there's like this little dugout that's kind of like a cave and stuff like that. And you can tell that it's not man-made. I mean, it's by nature.
Gotcha.
Anyway, he believes that, or he had some stories that was told to him. Now, I could not verify factual, but your gut tells you that more than likely he probably slept there a couple of times. If not, Pat Garrett did.
Right.
I mean, because the overlook is just, you got the bird's eye perch.
Sure. If you're a person that's trying to watch your back, that's a good place to watch your back.
Yeah. And it was just one of those things that just, it happened down at the local restaurant. I stopped in because I was early, and I just got me a cup of coffee, and we started talking, and I told him while I was there.
Well, and that's the beauty of small town stuff. You learn, and especially when you get to talking, someone's like, wow, you here? I'm doing some research for painting, and next thing you know, people are like, oh, really? And they'll love to share that history because, again, it's getting back to when we're talking about Cindy's books.
Yep.
People love to share their local and their experiences with you, and they love to read about and hear others sharing the experiences that they too have. And so that's That's all part of that.
So I've got another painting that is Puerto de Luna. And this is where Billy the Kid basically had his last meal. Now, again, for everybody that's out there, I am not trying to put Billy the Kid as a hero. That is not why I'm doing this.
You're just trying to record the history that took place.
These places,
through your painting. Yeah.
These places actually existed. He just happened to touch these places with a story.
Sure.
That's all I'm doing.
And people are gravitated to everything Billy the Kid. And so if people want to know about it and know what it looked like or real or try to, in their head, create what that environment was like at that time, that's what Greg's trying to recreate that as best as factually possible here.
And I've done some new videos. I don't know if you saw them, but I've created my own videos. I've got them on my page. And I just finished up this last one, and it's completely about Billy the Kid, and it's the Blaze of Glory song. And John Fusco, which is, me and him are friends. He's the creator of the Young Guns. I've done a heck of a job on that video in some people's eyes. Let's just put
I need
it
to
that
go
way.
check that out. Social media, I'm hit or miss on that. So I try not to hang it because usually I get too ticked off. So I try to avoid it. But yeah, I'll get on there and do some digging. So.
And then let's see. I just got back from La Masia. Dropped off the painting over there.
Okay.
That was of the courthouse. I'm currently working on a painting that will go to Roswell if Roswell will take it, and let's just say that it's a little treat.
Excellent.
It's not what most people were going to expect because most people haven't seen it.
Nice.
But it's a history painting.
Excellent.
I've got another painting that is already drawn. I just got to get it finished painted. But it's going to hang in Columbus, New Mexico, and it's a Pancho Villa.
Okay.
They actually reached out to me on that one, so that one's going to be a fun one to do. And the one that I'm currently in the middle of working on is the Pony Express.
Okay.
That was St. Joseph, Missouri, is where they were stationed, and the Pony Express only lasted 18 months.
I was, you know what? It's just funny you mentioned that. I was literally there's on Hulu. It's a History Channel show, and they talk about like the corporations that built America and things we talk about. And there was an episode about the FedEx and UPS and all that. But during their little thing, there was the short thing about the Pony Express, and yeah, it was like we know so much about it, but in the Culpa history, it was a couple of weeks that the Pony Express existed. It was a complete failure.
Yeah, well, it was 18 months.
Yeah,
is what it lasted.
Yeah, I would say it was very short. But
400 horses is what they had.
Yeah,
10 days is what they gave these riders, and they basically wanted orphan kids.
Yeah,
nobody else.
Well,
I mean, it was because it was like they knew, and they posted, and I had told my mom, I showed her the poster. And it states on there that your life is in your hands.
Yeah.
At every turn.
Well, yeah. Well,
you can die.
Well, that's what you hear terms like riding shotgun. That was all starting through Wells Fargo transporting the stuff, but that was the Pony Express. Was the male version of that, getting it out west, and it was literally just like the images you think of the kid on the horseback riding as fast as he can, like Paul Revere through the town to go. That's literally what the Pony Express was.
Well, they were riding through nations. Is what they was doing.
Well, that was the thing of the West. Yeah, They were doing. But it was a huge failure, and it only lasted, like you said, less than 2 years. Yep. But it was one of those. I think the images just captured the American imagination,
folklore.
So that's why I think its culture has lasted longer than the actual event it did.
The perseverance.
Yeah. But that's cool. I just saw the time. We're running out of time here. But of course, if you want to see more of Greg's stuff, please follow Greg on Facebook and through and of course, if Greg does commission work too and stuff, or if you're wanting artwork done, he'll paint you anything. Like he'll paint anything from cartoon characters to the most historically accurate paintings to he covers it all. So and then of course follow here, and then of course don't forget, get on Amazon, look for Cindy Sloan Butts. The latest book is called The Albatross, The Anarchist, and Alamogordo. But don't sleep on the other books. She's got 7 other books there that I think that you're gonna want to check out too here.
Yes,
so
sir.
if you love mysteries and you love New Mexico, you're probably gonna want to check out more of Cindy's books here and things too.
Thank you so much.
And Cindy,
Yes.
I am going to be seeing y'all up in Ruidoso. So I'll be up
You're
there.
going to see me in Ruidoso, huh?
Yeah, whenever y'all get up there. You said you're going to be up there next month?
Yeah, June.
Excellent.
June. We'll be in Ruidoso for a week in June.
June's a good time to be in Ruidoso.
Yep.
Not a good time to be in Roswell.
So I will see y'all there.
I'll be there.
Excellent. Well, Cindy, thank you very much. And we look forward to talking again soon. And we can't wait to hear more about your next book, especially talking about the Holocaust and this one, little European flair on this one. So we look forward to that too. So
thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Greg, as always, thank you.
Thank y'all.
And we'll talk to y'all next time, okay?
You betcha.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, it is 7:58. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
For us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Do you ever feel like life isn't fair? Joseph was the favorite son of Jacob, so we gave him a coat of many colors, which Joseph bragged about to his brothers, along with telling them that he'd had a dream about how they would bow down to him someday. As a result, Joseph's brothers threw him into a pit. One of his brothers took him out, sold him as a slave to a passing caravan. Joseph then worked his way up, ran a house, and then was betrayed by the wife of the owner. He was sent to prison for a crime he didn't commit. His cellmate forgot about him for quite some time after Joseph interpreted his dream, and he was released. After Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream, the ruler assigned him the task of preparing the country for famine and made him his right-hand man. I recently read the following quote: Joseph did not endure the pit, Potiphar's house, and prison because he knew he would end up in Pharaoh's palace. He simply remained faithful wherever he found himself, and God did the rest. When you feel like life isn't fair, just remain faithful, and God will take care of the rest.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell. You're invited! Car Affair 2024, presented by the Cars Club of Carlsbad. Saturday, June 1st at the beach in Carlsbad. Early registration is Friday with a cruise. Then Saturday, car registration starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy music, food, car-related swap meet, a 5K run, door prizes, and a special Try 5 Chevys area. To register or for more information, visit carsclubofcarlsbad.com.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The White House puts out official transcripts whenever the president speaks. And in this folks, imagine what we can do the next 4 more years. Pause. The way they write it up in the official transcript. 4 more years. Inaudible. Now, let's play that again, because it sounds very audible to me when he says pause. You decide.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years.
What do you call that, Linda? Propaganda, misinformation, lying, all the above?
I mean, I call it lying. I think lying really sums it up well.
The Sean Hannity Show, from coast to coast, later today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. On the battlefront in Ukraine, Kyiv security officials assessing how they can recover lost battlefield momentum in the war. Russia, despite sustaining high losses, has been taking control of small settlements as part of its effort to drive deeper into eastern Ukraine. From the Pentagon, in virtual remarks to the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says Ukraine needs more help against Russian aerial attacks.
We're going to have a special focus today on boosting Ukraine's air defenses. Ukraine is in dire need of more